down his sleeves.
It's huge.
You look great, man.
I've got warm forearms but cold biceps. I don't know what to do. This is my best
Your arms don't know what's going on.
Just fist pumping the air. Just start getting excited. You know, get the blood flowing.
Of course I am.
We got Rocket League coming your way.
Hey.
Let's get to a graphic so we can take this thing off here. Let's talk about the season so far because we're partway through it. Stumpy, we're into the winter split now. We've completed the fall split, and that was just a blast.
The full split, I love that we got off on the best foot possible. We had an incredible couple of regionals, the Open, the Cup, the Invitational. We're always going to be sticking to that format as well. And then ended up in the Rotterdam Major. The winners, Gen G, here in North America. They are residing and they are hoping to continue all of their success through into winter, where this next major, it's going to be San Diego. It's going to be warm. It's going to be lovely. I can't wait to go. But this is step number 1 on that path for NA today.
Oh, I could have kept it on? Cool. I thought we were taking them off after this. No,
I'm going to regret this when I'm sweating, but I'm committed to the bit now, Leaf.
All right. I love it. Well, if you want to commit to joining us in San Diego, get your tickets. Exclamation point tickets, rl.gg/winter major tickets live. I had to do something again. I will never live up to Corelli's throws the tickets up. That man knows how to sell tickets. But get on there, rl.gg/winter major tickets live. Grab your tickets for San Diego. You know you want to get there nice and warm and cozy, just like Cole's blanket over there. Let's talk about today. Let's talk about what we're going to be seeing today, because we're into North America. We've seen a few other regions get at it so far, but we got to talk about the teams coming in. The 16 teams into a group stage, Stumpy. This is just a battle royale right now.
Yeah, it's 16 of the greatest teams in NA, and they're split into 4, quite frankly, terrifying groups. Like, we normally talk about, okay, what's the group of death? What's going on? Group A, Group B, Group C, and Group D, you don't really want to be in any of them. North America has grown so strong at the start of this season. And I mean, look, if we just talk about some of these teams, Gen G, our reigning international LAN champions, currently the best team in the world, but as far as everyone is concerned. And they've got in a group with Complexity, Dignitas, and Koi, that recent partnership, along with Rogue, if you're wondering where Rogue have gone. And then you've got Group B, FaZe, Furia, Rebellion, and Knights. If you're Rebellion and Knights, good luck. All you're trying to do is avoid that 4th spot realistically. But Cole, Group C and D, it just keeps getting more terrifying, I feel.
Yeah, it doesn't get any more simple. Group C, we've got version 1, who were, it seemed in the off-season they were going to have to change when Rise was threatening to come along. In the end, he didn't. So everyone's going to be looking over there thinking, what are the vibes going to be like in that team, where Com was set to be dropped, then wasn't dropped. Some interesting storylines there. And then in Group T, Space Station Gaming, NRG, maybe they'll be back this split, who knows. Optic Gaming, trundling along pretty well. And then M80, or Matey, as you called them earlier.
Matey, the Matey organization,
Which is, you mentioned earlier, people who are looking for Rogue. M80 or Matey is Exit as well. So a couple of slight soft rebrands and some big new teams.
Nothing wild, though. We've definitely seen some crazier off seasons before. This, in terms of those, this one was definitely a little bit passive compared to some of those. But I still look at that Group A and say that's the group of death, because 3 teams have to play Gen G, and that you're just dead after that. That's just you're done. But moving out of this, those first seeds get to have a little bit of a bye. They get to move on. They don't have to play anymore today. But the 2 teams below them will get to go into that round 1, where we will be covering the start of that playoff section there, Stumpy.
Yeah, so if you get first in your group, congrats, you're through to tomorrow. You don't then need to play that round 1 as our final matchups today. If you come second and third, that is going to be you dropped into that round 1, depending on which group that you are in. And if you come 4th, that is you done. You're out of the competition. Good luck. Sayonara. See you next time, because you will not have a chance to keep battling through. But this bracket, as we saw in Europe, it doesn't necessarily matter where you start. It all ends up, how do you finish? Will that round 1 actually set you up nicely, even if you don't come first in your group?
Yeah. And with groups this small as well, it's amazing the swing that one sort of game 5 overtime can make. 1 minute it can seem like you're going to have to battle through just to break into the top 3. The next, you're top of your group. We saw it with Liquid last week in EU. So if your team loses a series or 2, don't give up on them. There are some big swings available.
And to see what they're fighting for, there's money on the line every single weekend these players are playing. They got to make that bank, but they're also trying to bank some of those points away. Even just making this tournament is fantastic. You get a couple more points than you did through that fall split. But looking at first place, Cole, 20 points for first. That's over 16 from first over in the fall split. So a big jump here for every position.
Big jump, but I guess with regards to making this major, the maths remain the same. You have to break into that top 5 across these 3 regionals. And in North America, that's going to be more competitive and difficult than ever. You're going to want to make a good start. You have to pretty much at least make it into that quarterfinals to have a realistic chance of making the major.
And now looking at the teams and what's going to be going on here for this first round, we have a few rounds to get through. We can't cover every single match. That would just be a lot of games on the screen at once. So we have all the other teams broadcasting their matches. If you would like to see any of these matches that aren't happening on screen, go over to their chat, start spamming away, support your favorite teams, and make sure you just have as many tabs open as possible. Stumpy, which one of these matches are you going to have on the side screen here?
I'm a consummate professional, Leaf. I'll only have the one match
just
that
the
I
one,
will be casting. That was a trick question. I see you. I see you, industry shill, trying to call me out. No, just the one for me.
Now, the funny thing is, I'm on the complete other end of the scale. I'm going to be casting one of them, but watching all the other 7. So, we're both different sides of the professional scale.
I think it's more that just Stumpy has the main broadcast on because he wants to see himself when the cameras come to him.
That's fair, and I'm also in it purely for the rewards. That's all I'm here for, guys.
There's some new fun fan rewards, by the way. So keep the stream up, guys. Keep the stream going. But let's dive into the match we're going to be broadcasting here on this channel right now. It's going to be Optic Gaming facing off against NRG. Yeah, this is a big. And we've said it for a while now, but I think this really is where it comes down to for NRG. They've stuck together through this. Cole, this has been a lot of trials for this team, but they continue to stick to it, and fans are hoping that there will be that redemption arc, there will be that pullback for this team. And I feel like if it's not happening now, it's not happening.
I mean, they only beat Optic Gaming by 1 point in the full split. So they're in 6th position in North America, NRG, which isn't disastrous if you're looking towards Worlds, but they were 19 points behind G2. So there was a big split behind the big 5, I guess now you'd say, in North America, and NRG, who are the gatekeepers. They do have to improve a lot. Maybe this is the start of those improvements, Lee.
Maybe. We'll find out.
Big maybe.
Maybe. Chat, what do you think? What do you think's going to happen? I already see a lot of support for NRG in there, but where are the Optic fans at? Get your hashtags in the chat, hashtag OG or hashtag NRG to vote for the team. We'll take a look at those in a second, but we got to take a look at what the analysts here are going to be predicting. And I think we threw those in ahead of time. So let's throw those up on the board and see where we stand. It is I think I might have miscommunicated because I actually was going to go NRG. I thought maybe it might happen today. I had to give him one. Was I supposed to curse Optic so that NRG gets the win? Should I keep it as Optic?
I think you meant to say who you think is going to win, Leaf. I think whoever you think is going to win, you put that name in your.
I thought we were
down there. So do you think that NRG are going to beat Optic right now? That's the question I put to you.
Come on, bro. Look deep into your heart and just think. Right now, in about half an hour's time, are you going to be looking back and seeing NRG win?
Absolutely not, but I'm going NRG. I don't care. I'm going to. I'm doing it. I'm going to. I think probably chat on this one, but I don't know. That's why I said if it's going to happen, it has to happen now. Like they have to be beating all the teams, but these teams specifically. So. The thought's still there, 60%.
There is also.
I was feeling potentially NRG for me as well. I just feel like it's such a blunder to not change, but I always think maybe they know more than I do. Maybe they just have something going on, but I can't. I can't have my heart broken again, NRG.
We forgot the biggest roster change of all, by the way. The NRG team stream is now going to be run by James Bot and Sizz. As are in his time with Gen G, the absolute legend. So there's all change there.
Traitorous from Dazarin, going from NRG to Gen G. Oh my god, he just chases the clout. I see him.
Chasing those G's, isn't he?
Disgusting.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really hoping that they've been working on it. I'm quite the opposite. I love to see a team stick together like this. To me, that is, you are really making sure there wasn't something you were missing by pushing it this far. So to me, it's fantastic, but I guess we'll find out. So Stumpy Cole, take it away.
Thank you very much, mate. I appreciate that. And look, we are there's lots of discussions about NRG. We talk about them a lot. And realistically, Cole, you said they came in 6th, which is brilliant for them. Like, seeing as everyone's saying, you need to change. I'm still saying that they need to change, but there's just something there. Do you believe the NRG machine is able to break through and get better than 6th? Because they need to.
Unless I'm forgetting something incredibly obvious, at this point, it would be the biggest single-team turnaround in Rocket League history, where the descent is seemingly clear for NRG. It's not like inconsistencies. At this point, it's a general trend of moving downwards. If they can reverse that, then it would be unprecedented in Rocket League. Do I believe they can? If I'm brutally honest, no, I don't believe they can. But players who have been at the top of their game, like Garrett G, like Squishy, like Justin,
literal
they don't care what I
champions.
believe. Well, literal world champions, right? They have had their entire careers, people say you can't do this, you can't do that. They won't care that I don't believe it, right? It's up to them to prove it. And I think as ever, Stumpy, you and I always say, we'd love to be proven wrong.
Always.
I would love to be proven wrong.
So much so. But, you know, it's not just NRG in this matchup. Optic have come into this swinging as well. Rettles and AJ and Magic Bear. They're a team that I feel we're looking at these majors and thinking, yeah, like, we will make them. We're going to make all of these majors realistically, or at least 2 out of 3. They didn't make the last one. This is their chance to come through and show that San Diego is a place for them to compete and be the best version of the team that they can possibly be. Just about missing out, that's not what you want to be doing, especially with an org such as Optic. And with that first goal going against you, Optic do have that work to do early on.
It's NRG that have started the series better. They've moved the ball well. They're finding each other. Justin, you always love seeing him sort of dancing around the ball like that. And Justin in a Fennec as well is an interesting show over here. He's got a brand new car, that blue and red little number, and it's looking like it's working well for him.
Minute and a half sees NRG rather, go ahead, and Optic just trying to chase a little bit more. Magic Bear was one of those players too that I think had a lot of eyes towards him, because seeing him back in the day, you know, on Alpine, like the way that he was able to maneuver the ball around the pitch and be so dominant, it was good for a team that was trying to break into the top 5, top 6, top 7. But how do you do that when you're in that echelon? When you have players alongside you that have, you know, competed on the biggest stages in the world? I think everybody wants to see him thrive as much as they want to be seeing NRG come back again.
Well, here he is on the ball right now, Magic. They're up against Garrett G. His teammates though are so far back, so his pass into the center goes absolutely nowhere. Squishy missed the ball and then apparently has a magnet on his car because the ball got smacked straight at him. Because Optic was so deep, it wouldn't mean any harm was done to the NRG players, and they're going to have to try and get going again.
Nice.
As Rettles shows some good pace. Rettles now one of the more experienced players in the RLCS, no longer that young super kid coming out of nowhere to win DreamHack.
Yeah, certainly changed his career around as well with his attitude and, you know, just the way that he carries himself generally. I think Rettles is a fantastic mind to have on a team. Like obviously when he was dropped from Space Station, but making his way on Optic Gaming, and AJ, another player that I've always loved to watch, and I want him to be on a team like this where he can work alongside somebody to get the results that a player of his caliber does deserve. But the midfield is being thus far battled upon. Rettles, though, sending it long. Magic Bear is downfield, gets bumped out of the way, so Garrett is to that ball first. Rettles going back to those old ways and then Squishy just out the way, trying to open up that back line with Rettles again on the ball. Saying his name a lot recently, the man to watch potentially for NRG.
I think NRG aren't really watching any of the Optic players too closely, because between them, they have managed 0 shots in the first 3 minutes of this game, and Justin is getting another one for himself. Justin's coming alive in the winter split.
A little bit naughty, going towards that sidewall. Garrett is in the perfect place. Did not mean that touch whatsoever. It just happens to find him. Bounces high, Justin to receive, and shooting towards that far post. Realistically, if I'm being like harsh, should be in first time, but it gets round Rettles and then he can touch it in instead. And that's 2-0 for NRG, and you cannot argue against a single goal in this game.
NRG impressing so far. As I said earlier, they're spacing around the pitch really well. There's been very few double commits and awkward moments, and their touches are working. The mechanics seem right for them up to now. So can they keep that going? We know that Optic can step up. Remember, they only had 1 point fewer than NRG in the last split, so certainly lots of talent in this OG team. And another org we'd love to see at a big LAN. Optic Gaming ringing out
the green wall.
The green wall. And maybe up against the blue wall one day. It's going to happen. What would that make? Blue and green? Yellow?
I was just trying to
wall?
think. Would it be... No, yellow... Oh, wait. No, yellow and blue make green. What does blue and green make? Is it just brown? It's normally brown if you don't know, isn't it?
All right, fair enough. Well, that's
hopefully they're going to try and assemble the brown wall in San Diego. That would be a lot of fun. Everybody, let's see some brown walls in chat.
It's turquoise.
It's turquoise. Oh, that's the turquoise wall.
The turquoise wall. Oh, man,
Hey.
that's brilliant. I'd love to see that come out.
Shows how much you and I know about art, Stumpy. Hopefully, we know a little bit more than about Rocket League. We do about art as this series continues. AJ, he's got the ball. He's got the mechanics. On that occasion, he didn't have the ability to get it past the defender. NRG, as they break the rule too, respect. I respect it more, not less, when they do that, these players. Look like they're cruising to a Game 1 win.
The pressure at the end of the game building up for OG. Final 15 is going to be seeing these final attempts for Optic. And they get it towards that orange net. It does go high, but AJ isn't able to reach. Justin with that final touch, sending it towards the ground. No chance for Optic at this point. 2-0 NRG. What a great showing in game number 1. Silencing doubters as far as I'm concerned. Like, coming out the gates that hot and doing well early, that is exactly what they need.
Lee, you must feel absolutely buzzing after that, mate. You believed it. Just about 7 shots, Lee.
Crumbs.
Hey, I honestly, I only got to glance over every once in a while because I'm watching the other matches. But every time I looked over, it was NRG scoring. So, that's I keep my blinders on to everything else. So I don't know if they did anything bad, but to me, this is the greatest team of all time right now.
Wow.
That's a pretty big claim after a single 2-0 against another mid-table team.
Huge.
But I'm there for it. I'm really there for it. I've bought in NRG. I don't want that brown wall. I just want... Well, they don't really have a wall, do they? Not Dazarin.
The squishy wall.
They got the squishy wall. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
How about I stop this conversation right now?
Tell us about other results.
I'm happy that NRG did well in that match.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. I just don't agree with me that they're going to win, because then they're going to lose based off your predictions. But all the other matches across the board, honestly, relatively close for most of the games. I mean, the teams you expect to be winning came out on top. Of course, FaZe Clan got their dub. Space Station got their dub. G2 got their dub. I think a couple more are actually still finishing. They're still going in overtimes. Complexity got theirs. And then Furia got theirs over Shopify as well. So they're going the right way, but relatively close scorelines between 1 to 2 goals for each of these wins.
Nice to see Furia getting a win early on, bringing in Lost as well. So that's going to be a scary move. Another cross-regional transfer in Rocket League's history, going to the Furia boys right then. So they're going to be keeping a close eye on those as we move over to Forbidden Temple over here. I love seeing Forbidden Temple back. I've missed this map.
One of my favorite maps. I adore it. I just like the pink hues. I think it looks beautiful. But, I mean, a couple of early chances there for Retals too. I feel like he's had a good few opportunities to show what he can do when he's solo on the ball. It just hasn't yet led to a goal. But I see him being quite a lot of firepower for Optic. And considering that maybe I'm just thinking old of myself, AJ being an incredible powerhouse, we've not seen a massive amount from him, at least in that first game. So looking for himself to be turned on to get onto that level that Retals is at.
Well, here he is, AJ, as he heeded your cool, Stumpy. Not quite, because Morgan defending from Squishy. So he's getting involved, putting his car where it hurts, and just trying to intercept the Optic Gaming machine as it gets whirring. AJ, though, you can't give him that much time. Retals shoots wide. AJ tries to get it on target via a Retals bump. It was like the old school days for Retals there of that bump in the goal, but it was saved again by NRG.
Karachi on that right side, wanting to flick it away past that halfway line, but Magic Bear with 100 to receive in the sky. Squish it up incredibly early. I love seeing that. I love seeing the proactive movement, because so easily can you win a game and then just sort of turtle up a little bit. No, try and keep pushing as far forward. And Squishy passing towards Justin. Those two linking up has been historically terrifying for North America to deal with.
I'm getting the impression at the moment that Optic are a little bit surprised by how fast NRG are playing. In defense, they're getting in each other's way a little bit, tripping over each other's feet. And normally when you think of Optic, you think of quite a fluent play style. But it's just not happening right now. NRG are bullying them. And the timing is right. Squishy coming in as third man. He's in the perfect position. Magic Bear is all too grateful just to get that ball away. Falls to Retals, who is dunked as well. And it's these little moments where Optic, they're wasting boost and they're not able to get any territory on that ball.
Still 2 minutes without instant in this second one on Forbidden Temple, but Retals trying to squeeze it past that halfway line again. So much midfield play until it's broken apart by NRG off the post. Justin isn't able to secure that one on target. A couple of times he's shot, and a couple of times it has gone wide. Unfortunately for him, AJ though catching, flicking towards the side of Justin, but that defense coming out strong yet again. Justin as well staying grounded to avoid being bumped out the net by AJ. for the in and out. AJ now onto that right-hand corner. The boost on from Garrett is going to shut down that defense. 15 in the skies alongside Squishy was AJ once again. Magic are burning all that boost just to relinquish control all the way back to the NRG defense.
Relatively speaking, the player that's impressed me the most for NRG is Squishy. He is looking so confident, not just with these quick shots, but it's the awkward touches that he's getting, where he's hopping from the wall onto the ceiling, then aerialing down a little bit and dodging into the ball just to intercept and get in the way. He looks supremely confident right now, Squishy, and he didn't have that at all in fall. In fact, his mechanics seem to be falling behind. The man has been grinding by the looks of things over Christmas, and fair play to him.
Confidence is the greatest factor, I feel, in this game, especially when players have reached a certain level. You can be at that level all you want, but how often are you going to be able to achieve it in game? Justin, a man who needs that confidence sometimes. The flip reset to shut down Optic.
He's got another one, Justin. He's looked great. The pre-flip into it as well, and then the flip reset. Reckles can't do a thing about that, nor can AJ. He had to weave that one between the 3 Optic defenders. Justin's got it today.
Minute 40, and Justin opening the scoring. NRG seemingly on fire. Any NRG fans in chat right now, you can start to feel quite happy about your team.
Daz, what's the problem?
Daz is always the problem.
I think that's the only explanation all this time. Maybe, though, Magic Man gets it back for Optic. Not again, Squishy. He follows it up. Rettles is nipping in there. OG seems to have stepped up the pace a little bit after that NRG goal. They've sensed that Daz was the problem, NRG. They're trying to push it on. Squishy up against Rettles. Rettles leaves it well. But it goes to nothing. And Garrett can find Justin, and it's all too easy for NRG in defense.
These passes too. NRG are linking up so much more. And we've said previously, NRG and some of these teams they just so happen to be on the same team. They're 3 cars wearing the same decal. Like, they don't feel that cohesion. This NRG team has certainly been grinding. There's no part of me that doubts that, because they know what they can achieve. They know that they have not been achieving that. They had an utterly disappointing and pretty much embarrassing a half season or so.
By their standards.
By their standards, of course. Yeah, they came 8th at Worlds, and that's still good, but it's like these players theoretically should still be up there. The grind that they've been on is clearly paying off now. However, these final 30 seconds in game number 2 are a chance for Optic to try and put those nerves back into them.
Magic there tries to take a little touch, but Justin's on him so quickly, and Squishy with the demo as well. The clearance from Rettles, all it can do is find Squishy, who takes a quick shot up against AJ, who knew that Rettles was there. Optic Gaming trying to get back into this one. Another shot from Rettles, but it's closed down by Justin this time. Magic Bear's turn. AJ's desperate. He's going for bumps and demos. Not happening for OG. That one into the corner. Rettles has to win this and win it well. He's not able to. One last chance for Optic Gaming, or they stare down the barrel of needing a reverse sweep. There will be a chance, though, until Rettles is a little bit further sideways than his team needed, and it's 2-0 to NRG.
Forbidden Temple sees the old gods come back. One more game. NRG leave. Success.
Yeah.
Question mark.
Well, I'm not going to call you that, because I will jinx it. Guarantee. But yeah, that's what we're talking about. Match point there. Optic. You got the old NRG back? You a little scared? Justin's popping off right now. You love this.
Justin looks great. Yeah, Justin looks brilliant. He had 6 shots again across those 2 games, 13 shots. He's done incredibly well. And that goal, like I said, he threaded it past 3 defenders, had to then pre-flip, flip reset, and then use it quite quickly. He's looking very, very good. And I think we all, as boomers of Rocket League, just like to see Justin playing well.
we want to stay relevant for a long time, so we hope the players do the same thing. But across the board here, G2 and Space Station both also sit at a match point against their opponents, Axel and M80, respectively. Version 1 looks like they got things under control. I know there's some questions about maybe what the team atmosphere is like, but they're still getting their dub against a crew here. FaZe Clan was at match point, but I do believe Knights just took a game off of them. So shout outs to the Knights right now.
Okay, well, if the biggest teams in NA are clearly crumbling, it's a chance for NRG to work their way back. Right, Cole?
Right, yeah. Cool, I love the bravado, but what you're saying is the truth. There is indeed a chance for NRG to work their way back, but it's a long old road if they are to be in that conversation of where they want to be. The best team in the world. That's what they want to be. But it starts with beating teams like this, beating teams like Optic Gaming, putting them to the sword when you're 2 games up. And just to temper expectations a tad, as Rettles hoped Squishy would miss and Squishy didn't, we did have good games from NRG last split. where we would say, wow, they played really well. And then something would happen. Maybe it was Daz's fault, and suddenly they'd start losing. It feels a bit different today, but that's just my word of warning.
There's a chance for NRG to go through, and potentially, if they can keep holding Optic down, they are going to be on track for that perfect sweep. 0 goals so far scored for Optic. 2-0 and a 1-0. Will this be a chance, though, as Rettles takes to the sky, bumps one out of the way. Some of those cringe air dribble bumps. Again, Magic Bear onto that backboard, taps down onto the backboard again. They need to go for the target at some point. You can't just batter through the top of the goal.
I can't believe you just made Leaf laugh. We heard you, Leaf.
Little spirit up the nose there.
That's my only aim during
Yeah, you did well there. You know who else is doing well, mate? NRG so
Brilliant.
far. Hold out from a slightly better bit of Optic Gaming offense. But Optic are looking better. The passes are working a little bit more effectively. I'd say I've cursed them. As soon as I say that, Rettles just punts poor old Magic Bear out the sky. Another attack goes begging. Maybe AJ can make the most of it.
It's a lot of attack.
It's a lot of attack, but look how well NRG are defending it. Their boost can't be too high, but they're just looking pretty comfortable.
It's 4 shots, 4 saves, and so far it looks to be Optic are trying to hit down the door and barge down the barrier that's standing between them and a perfect sweep. They know they need a goal here. They want that early confidence for them, because if they go down by 1 again around the 3-minute mark, which they have done in both games, it becomes a lot harder to work out. Or Rettles bumping Justin and demoing him out of the way. AJ stealing once again. AJ assisted by Rettles on the ground.
You gotta love that from Rettles. That's what we love to see from him. First the demo, then the bump, sweeping the path for AJ. Just to slam it home, the easiest finish in the world for a man of his mechanical abilities. I didn't even notice that we were staring down the barrel of a perfect sweep. Not that it matters anymore, because that's been well and truly put to bed, but it shows how tough it's been so far for Optic. Maybe now that'll open things up. If Rettle beats Justin here as well, could be even easier. Magic Bear shoots. Guaranteed.
So safe. That's the safest shot Magic Bear could have taken, sort of towards the net. You just need to hit that as hard as you can in a scary place. It's a 1v1. He also didn't flip into it. He was just up too quickly. At that point, you jump and then you save your dodge to then actually shoot it. That's literally, that's basics. Too safe. Optic, you need to just continue going for these risks, going for these big plays. Otherwise, NRG do just come back.
Justin puts that one in the corner, but it's read again by Optic, who are definitely attacking, or defending, should I say, more on the front foot. Not letting NRG come forward. Squishy wants to beat Rettles to this one. Rettles good pace. Finding Magic Bear as well, who hops over it, forcing the angle between them, the Optic Gaming players. That's more good play from Justin, who keeps his momentum up. Can't quite close down AJ. Look how hungry he is for the ball off the ceiling. Squishy finds him. This one's going to be a bullet into the corner, is it? No, not quite. In fact, it's going to go all the way into the other goal. That didn't work out.
The interception midfield of Squishy and Justin tried to set up something special, but the complete miss from Justin from the optimism leads to it being punished. Top corner found by Magic Bear after it bouncing on the floor. Not the speediest goal, but it still counts as well.
It's nice where it just bounces in all the way from the other half. Everyone can see it's going in.
It gives you time to think of, maybe shouldn't have done that realistically.
Do you chase the ball in, or do you just sort of like... Because when I see the balls going in, I jump on my back and just wait for it to bounce in. Sometimes it doesn't go in, and I look very silly.
Yes, I know. I've played with you when you've done that, and then I'm shouting at you to come back, and I look, and you're just upside down in their net, and I'm like, right, brilliant.
When it works, though, I look cool.
You'd never look cool. Look at you.
It's a cool call.
Thank you, Lee.
No, Lee.
It is cool, Cole.
No, don't interject. Go
The
away.
hero I need.
You're only here mid-game or in between games. Go away, mate.
Lee, if you've got 2 jobs, speak to us between games and occasionally snort at Stumpy's jokes, all right? Don't defend Cool Cole.
That's it. The final minute, Optic are looking much, much better. They certainly turned it around. The Rettles going to try and force Justin onto that backboard, trying to keep in positions where NRG do not feel comfortable. Because what we've seen from NRG early in this game was they're happy to defend, and then they get a little bit overconfident. So if Optic can keep pushing them for that and going for those double taps to force them into better positions, then Optic Gaming may well have found that key.
It's been a total step up from Optic in this game in general. I think that they've looked a class above NRG so far. There is still time for NRG to turn it around, but it just doesn't look likely. The more aggressive playstyle from Optic has completely opened NRG up. NRG maybe still have, as I say, just a little bit of time on the clock to deal with that. Justin has a pass to the center, but it's a little bit in front of Rettles. That one's just bouncing. NRG needs to up the pace a lot more. AJ can save this one easily. It looks like it's ticking away. Could there be another chance? Not quite. It's been a game of not quite for NRG. Huge step up though, Stumpy, from OG.
And Optic, so far, they have had 12 shots on target compared to NRG's 3. Like, they have outshot them. They have pushed them right to that limit, dropping it down. Optic do secure that game. It's now 2-1 in our best of 5 series. And yeah, that was just a push. That was Optic being like, well, we're in the corner now. We may as well swing as hard as we can. Sure, they bruised their knuckles on the drywall, but they got a win.
There you go. Leaf.
Yeah.
How's it going elsewhere, mate?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not too worried about though, because it seems like any of the other 3-0 sweeps that were about to happen are in contention going into overtime. I mean, SSG was at one. M80 is tied with them now into overtime. Gen G, you might be right about the Daz thing. They've only won 2 of their games by 1 goal, and they're tied right now against Koi going into the final minutes. Gen G's not looking as strong as
Daz. Why?
Team curse Daz.
Exactly. I can't believe he ruined NRG for a year, and now he's hopped over to Gen G.
It's like when you watch a film and like a creepy person in a shop's trying to sell a cursed vase. Daz is that cursed vase. He's trying to hand it off to someone else because they just can't handle all the bad luck that comes their way.
I mean, last time we were in Rotterdam, Daz did try to give me a vase, and is that why? I thought he was being nice.
Yeah, no, it was cursed. It was cursed, mate. You would have lost even more. Can you believe?
No, I can't.
Complexity, their match point as well, but they're tied up with Dignitas into that final minute as well. So it's, again, across the board, really close. V1 finally regaining the lead on their match point for their sweep. But there's a lot of sweep potential. But again, a lot of these matches within 1 goal or even tied coming into those final minute of gameplay. So across the board in North America, there isn't that stretch from the top end to the bottom, except for G2, who did complete their 3-0 sweep.
Hey.
They got theirs against Team Action. So.
Oh, well done, G2. Keeping the sweeping hopes alive. There won't be a sweep in this series. But will there be a sweep of the word reverse put before it in this series? Because Optic Gaming, Stumpy, they looked pretty darn dangerous in that last one.
They looked very aggressive. And I think the aggression is the best way to try and deal with NRG, who they're feeling were starting to run away with this. They literally hadn't scored, Optic against them. So the fact that they were able to get 1 goal and then they punished the hubris of NRG when they were trying to be too overconfident. It's exactly what they needed to do. So Optic, here on Utopia, it's a great chance for them to at least take us to game number 5, which is utterly imperative for them.
Important as well for NRG not to retreat too far into their shell after a bit of a smashing against them. But if you look at Rocket League, up and down the land, up and down the levels, occasionally even the best teams, they lose 4-0, they lose 5-0. It happens.
First 40 seconds, though, is NRG wanting to put that press on, tighten that vice against the entire makeup of Optic Gaming. Just on the right wall with 70, takes to the sky with AJ waiting on the backboard, though he has to go low in the end, maintains control of the ball. Then 50s along with Rettles, and Squishy is there to follow up as well. 40 boost, goes for the flick. Magic bet high to save it away. NRG are rotating fantastically around this blue box so far.
It's a better start to this game, certainly than they had in the last one. But Optic Gaming can punish that. Maybe the counter-attacking game is going to be effective for them, not with Squishy driving forward. Rettles gets in the way, but he's got no boost to do anything at all with the ball when it lands. And that clearance from AJ has just gone all the way over all the Optic Gaming heads. Bear's going to have to restart proceedings, but Justin up against him so fast as well. Good play from them. Squishy's almost been done, but he's turned himself around and got a touch on the ball.
Well, Rettles managed to fake out one of the NRG players, just went to go towards the right, ends up going towards the left, sends him flying. So I like the idea from Optic to be a bit more tricksy, going for a lot of aggression, sure, whenever they get those openings to do so, but also just wanting to make NRG double think everything that they do. Squishy intercepting nicely, just as Magic Bear did to him and Justin in the previous game, led to a goal, but this time it does not. 0 boosties. Magic Bear have to leave this play, collecting pennies on his path. Justin on that right-hand wall isn't able to get anything from it, and Rettles goes low along with that challenge. Good chances for Optic here to try and get something on target. Justin saving that attempt away, though.
I mean, it's been a pretty safe game from both teams so far. It's unfortunate for Magic Bear that his touch on the backboard there went to the right instead of the left, into the center of the pitch, which is where he wanted it to. But yeah, only the 3 shots in total. 2 from Squishy, 1 from AJ. And then all the scraps we've had to feed on as far as goalmouth action goes in game number 4.
It's been a very mid-heavy series, I feel. Like, yeah, we've had those big pushes at either end at varying times, but otherwise I feel like it's been controlled a lot from the midfield. Like, it's been boomable into the occasional shot, and that chance from Justin, again linking up with Squishy, could have gone somewhere, and Rettles is going to be the beneficiary of that ball bouncing nicely. Magic Bear to forward the double save. from NRG keeps them in it for now.
Super close. Suddenly it ramps up with regards to the tension. Optic Gaming are the first to turn the pace up. I was wondering which team it was going to be. And it was OG, but NRG can come back. Justin into the center. Retals reads it. Magic Bear is following up. Garrett tries to avoid the bump off AJ. What a touch that is from Magic Bear. Just gently caressing that ball forwards. AJ has got the classest control on his own backboard. Almost punished, but still a lovely first touch.
Minute 30 remaining as the ball bounces wide. Retals beating just into that ball with 30, but he has to touch it over another. He does so. Magic Bear to shoot. Just ends up going wide. A bit too much spice on that pass.
Garrett G into the center. 125 left. A goal for NRG here. Could be the end of the series. And that happened. Garrett. How's his first touch? Wow, he's proper smashed that one all the way across the goal, and it's AJ's.
20 seconds. Been worked off that clock and no goals to report just yet. Potential first overtime in this best of 5 series between these two mid-table teams. Retals challenging in the corner again. It always feels like it's Retals going for those first touches, trying to set up those plays. Squishy intercepting in the air, and Magic Bear has to dive across net to save it. Justin not dropping it low for Garrett, instead going high. Rewarded with a goal. NRG take the lead.
Just grinding them down, or NRG. It's not been as fluent as their first couple of games, but if you get the first pass that effective and that accurate, then Garrett G's going to come in. Garrett might just have won this series.
I also love seeing Garrett have the RLCS Season 1 Elite title on. It's just nice. It's a nice reminder that he is, in fact, 35 years old.
35 years. Oh, not the Leaf love.
Yeah.
That's 2-0 Stumpy. I don't know what it's 2-1 Stumpy.
Yours was for pity.
Just let me have something. I've just said I'm losing. You can't even let me be losing.
Sorry, can you cast the game, please, mate?
Squishy gets a touch. Now it's Retals. He touches it too. Happy now?
Oh, brilliant. Well done. Everyone's proud of you. 30 seconds. Justin challenging in that midfield. Garrett wanting to go for the second. Isn't able to get it on target, and so wide of the net it falls. Squishy trying to ramp it again. A lot of those ceiling passes come out from Squishy so far, but Optic have read pretty much every single one of them. Garrett ceiling passing to himself. Pings it top right with Magic Bear able to intercept on that chance. The final 10 seconds counts down, and Optic need a goal, otherwise they go into that round 2 down a game.
The push continues. Retals and Garrett, they combine. It goes into the center. AJ has a pass that wide, but he can't get his second touch. Justin tries to knock it down, and it's effective, the touch. NRG take the series by 3 games to 1.
Huge.
Big.
Leaf's a genius.
Yeah.
He's a genius. I mean, to be fair, you know, I did say Optic below, so history will say that Leaf's prediction was wrong. Leaf, any thoughts?
Well, history is wrong, and I'm
consistently so.
all the time. But yeah, no, you know, just big brain. That's all I'll say. I won't say anymore. Across the board, though, I gotta let you know, a lot of sweeps did complete finally. SSG got their sweep. Version 1, G2, Furia, and Gen G all got their 3-0 sweeps, and we have 2 matches still going on right now. Complexity was on a match point, but they did just drop a game to Dignitas, so they'll go into their game 4. And here we have FaZe Clan on match point. Pittsburgh Knights taking 1, so it's 2-1 right now. They were up, and First Killer did First Killer things, so now we have a tie game coming in those final seconds here, and potentially a game 5 if PK can take this. So watch out for PK.
I mean, PK are looking fantastic. But before we talk about a lot of the gameplay, if you want to go and support what's going on with these teams, head over to, as you can see at the bottom, for any of these streams that we watch, JG7TV. JG's lovely. Go give him some love. Go give his team a little bit of love as well. Yeah, just get involved with the chats wherever you can and follow any of those teams that you really want to. But over time, the first one that we've seen today out of any of these games, I feel like we're vibing going with FaZe. I feel like most people would.
Yeah, well, if you want to vibe, you'll be going with PK with Jamaican Coconut. He's wearing 2 hats and sunglasses right now.
What? He doesn't know how cold it is. He's not know this is a winter split.
He's forgotten.
His name is Coconut. It's always warm for a coconut.
That's true. That's
well, not if you put it in snow.
As the old saying goes.
Not if you put it in the snow.
That's the Canadian
That's a fair
edition.
point. Yeah.
We don't have Canadian coconuts. Those don't exist.
Oh, good fake.
Couldn't finish it away. Yeah, fair play to Knights. They're continuing to fight against FaZe. I feel like I've seen this story from FaZe so many times. Whoa! I'll shut up. Sosa's shut me right up.
Oh, that's such a good shot. Oh, Snippet was made to look a right numpty.
I do feel like a right numpty right now.
I said typical, not you.
Oh, sorry. I think
McCall that just wants to feel that way. Okay?
Like, I'm also a numpty. Yeah, okay. Anyway, typical probably feels like it.
You let him live his best life, okay?
Wait, so that's now game 5 for PK versus Knights. Sorry, PK versus FaZe.
That will be game 5. PK Knights, yeah.
Jeez.
So is this a potential reverse sweep as well, or did this one go 1-1?
This will be a reverse sweep. Yeah, Dignitas just won game 3. Complexity was at match point.
Complexity. Interesting story, Complexity, with... my mind's gone blank. Who's the player that went over to Complexity? CRR, with CRR heading over from Spain over to North America. A player I'm a big fan of as well, but it's not easy to make these majors. It's why, in hindsight, the fact that Complexity reached the first major that they did back in the 21-22 season becomes more impressive as the months go on. I don't think we realized how difficult it was to leave your region, then make a major. And the fact that Furia failed to do it later on is proof of that.
Yeah, top 4 in the world, Furia couldn't follow in Complexity's footsteps. Complexity have got a lot of fantastic story behind them. So I think a lot of people are hoping that they're going to be representing North America, and obviously, as ever, by extension, South America, just like Jack and Nolly are still representing Europe, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Come on, you guys have too many good teams. Give us one.
Well, we gave you 2 of our best players. So is that not enough for you? Oh,
South America giving you their best players too.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, well, so FaZe are now taking the lead in that right-hand game. I just popped up for a sec. But Dignitas, there's the clock. I didn't see where the clock was. It's on the top right, for anybody wondering. I didn't see it there for a little while. I was trying to figure out how long was left. Okay, so about minute 30, then another game 5. Gosh, it's spicy in round 1.
Round 1's great. I love these first days. First day is probably my favorite day, where you can just see the results come in. And every game that goes to a team, every goal that's scored by any team is like, that changes everything. Oh no, but now that's going to do the
picture, doesn't it?
It does. And speaking of setting the picture, Dignitas, the picture that I see of their decal, beautiful. The one with the green and the red and the gold in it is a stunner. Up there with G2's, in my opinion.
Yeah, G2 I think still have the best decal. The rainbow decal, I think it's their away one. It's just it's S tier. It's alongside Vitality for how good it is.
Is this where we naturally plug people to go over to the esports shop and pick up your favorite team's decal?
It's actually not Leaf. No, you were a little bit early.
Oh, I missed
it. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. There's so many cool ones in there now as well. I love when there are new ones released and people are like, okay, I'm getting that one, I'm getting that one, I'm getting that one. And then they just basically just name all of them because they're all just so sick. And it's like, yep, I'm going to rep every single team. And there are goal explosions out there too now. Something that we've been asking for such a long time, and they're there. It's great to see. And I like seeing players use them as well.
Everyone was very mean to the Radosin Mobile at the start. You know, the leopard print monstrosity.
Yeah.
But history is proving that it was great all along. Vitality knew what we didn't. You know, we weren't quite ready for that Vitality decal when it came out. Now we as a community are, I feel.
I think it made us whole.
I think so too, man. I feel complete since it's come out. FaZe gonna win this one, are you assuming?
Likely.
I feel like it, but then equally, we get the occasional bonkers result on day 1. Like, we get the occasional where it's like,
not from FaZe,
obviously.
FaZe are normally pretty robotic. Unless I'm forgetting
anything.
Yeah, exactly. Since Mist has come in, unless I'm forgetting something really obvious, everyone's going to laugh at me. I'm pretty sure that, when it comes to the Swiss or when it comes to group stage or whatever, FaZe are normally pretty set from the off.
I feel like that as well, but I'm curiously waiting to see if Direct says anything.
Yeah. Actually, they've never won in the Swiss.
What? Don't have a go.
No, I'm just saying.
Why have you done
strays over here?
Why have you done the voice? Why can't he just say, "Oh, actually, Cole, sorry, they normally suffer around one of the Swiss." Why can't he
looks
just
at numbers?
Nice?
He's a nerd.
What does that mean?
You know what? I don't know why.
I like Direct.
I love Direct.
Right. So why have you used the voice? What's that about?
I don't know why.
Direct, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that Cole, my co-caster, one that I'm joined to by the hip, just did that voice for you.
I don't know why. It just even Twitch chat is saying poor Direct.
It's just evil. Yeah, it's evil. Absolutely, it's evil. That's evil of you.
Okay, here we go. FaZe is 24-3 on day 1 over the last 9 regionals, brackets, full year. And that's from Gibbs, which is why I worded it in my normal voice.
Yeah, that's fair. Can't believe Very toxic of you, Cole. Well, okay, so at least now we know that FaZe are, they are just one of the best teams on those day ones, going 24-3. That's actually really silly. That's a very silly stat. But will it be 24-4 potential? Probably not. They're 3-0 up, 2 minutes left.
Yeah, I don't think there's much chance of that happening. Never really looked likely from what we've been seeing in this one.
We do have a game 5 though over there with Complexity and Dignitas.
I like that overlay as well. That's very cool. That's very nice. I like that goal explosion. Oh my word. There's so much cool stuff. Go to Dignitas if you like Dignitas.
Oh, was bottom bar guy there too?
Yeah.
Legend.
Your old mate Leaf, bottom bar.
Legend.
Legend of the esport.
We go down in the history books that we're rewriting, I guess, right?
Yeah, history is wrong, as we learned earlier in history.
I feel like the momentum is completely with Dignitas in this one on the left right now. I mean, the FaZe series looks pretty dead. Looks like FaZe have managed to see that one through, especially when they're making saves like that. But Complexity v Dig, it's very difficult for Complexity, especially since they've been not struggling, but middling since CRR has joined. They've flattered to deceive, I would say. And I think it's in times like this where Complexity don't quite have it yet, in these game 5s. Unfortunately.
FaZe looking like they're going to be going for that 25-3 day one record, which is just silly. So utterly silly of them.
Anyone wants to win 1,000 Cool Coal points, who were the 3 series, or who were the 3 teams that FaZe lost to in their 25-3 record?
You don't know that, do you?
Yeah.
Go on.
Well, if I told it, then that would give away the game, wouldn't it? I've just cast my mind back.
Yeah, but you can have 3 Cool Coal points, Cole.
I'm in the negatives, man. I'm on like minus 400.
Of your own points.
Well, here, what?
God, that's sad. I'm sorry.
Let's let people fester on that. Maybe you can bring us the stat back after, because with FaZe winning that, we do have a listen-in for this game 5, and I expect that to be a little more riveting than the trivia going on here. So let's dive into that.
Game, 3 minutes to go. All right, can we score a second goal after scoring first? Evo with the flip reset takes it to the ground. This one goes for off of Race Bull's bumper. The outside. Now Drees, wonderfully placed. CRR with a save. Double commit on the follow-up. But my goodness, that was a crazy save.
Off the ceiling. I think... Okay, there's the demos. I was going to say, I want some more physical aggression, but I didn't know if we could overextend for it. I don't want us to change too much here. Things look solid. Rotation's clean. Not giving away free goals. That first one was, I'd say, earned from Complexity, but now we can make our counterattack downfield. Big clear. Nobody's there, but good setups. Things have evened out in Game 5. Not too much action. It's a lot of stress, Wade Punk.
Stress indeed.
No.
Not covered.
I saw the follow-up from Raze Bull, or excuse me, from AJG. He had the boost to go for it. Drees couldn't get the read, and then Evo slightly too late on the rotation. That's just a good shot. It's just a good shot, but there's time. Don't get your hopes down.
So much time.
So much time. You know how much you could do in 2 minutes? It's crazy.
Andy, score early. Change it all. Soft touch in.
Oh, no.
Double commit again. It's so scary to commit all 3 players deep in the enemy territory, but
I don't have a choice.
I feel like it's the right way. It's the way you score against Complexity with how much they love to commit. If you have just an extra man lurking on the outside to pop in the free goal after the 2 defenses, here comes Drees. Drees bumped off the ball, but Eva, look at the coverage here. Into the goal. Raze has got to get there. He does in time, but here's the follow-up. Drees now onto the backboard again. Andy, airborne. No, called off by AJG. He saw him in the air already, didn't think he could win the challenge. Waits for the follow-up. Here's Evo. Put him behind him. Off the backboard. Follow-up is no good. Raze Bull's there. Drees out of the deep backfield. Keeps the ball in the middle. Final minute, though. Trailing by 1. What a valiant effort to get here. We need a final push to get the win.
Remember what worked previously. A lot of fake shots for Dignitas. Complexity likes to dive early. Maybe we slow things down. Off the backboard, good dribble from Drees. I like the idea. That's what I'm talking about. Slowing things down, getting some shot opportunities. That was a ridiculous angle. But I like what I'm seeing. We're keeping this pressure forward. That's a big clear, though, from Complexity. We got to battle back and find a transition. 35 to go.
Now or never.
Wait, Punk. Hold me.
Corner. I hold you at a long distance. All the energy. Tangled up on top of each other, but it's confusing them as well.
50,
Into the corner.
In a
Here
demo.
we go.
In a demo.
Open net.
Flip reset.
Believe.
We
Evo,
have to
final
score.
10. Final 10, Andy.
Back over.
Back up. We're out of boost. Drees
the
is the only
midfield
one with anything
boost.
to take.
Get the
They're on top
midfield
of each
boost,
other.
Evo.
Open net. Open net. Where are we going?
Oh!
Finish it. No! Oh, my goodness. What a match.
I love day ones, and this is what you're missing if you don't have your team streams up on all of them. Turn the volume on every single team stream.
Oh my
How
goodness.
that might be chaos. That might be too much.
And also us talking about literally anything, and also listening to their streams. That's fun.
Before we go to break here, to get to round 2, I want to know if we get the answer to our trivia question. Who were the 3, or was it 3 teams, multiple teams?
Yep,
Are you asking me?
Cole has prepped this. So Cole, I'll give you an intro. Don't worry.
Yeah, cool.
So we asked the question earlier on. 24 and 3 FaZe are on those day ones, and Cole
25 and
posed
3
a
now.
brilliant question to chat. Who are those 3 teams that they ended up losing to? I'm looking forward to knowing the answer, chat. I know you are as well. Cole, take it away.
Space Station, version 1.
You're making this up.
And
Yeah,
TNT.
why do you have to look up when
Why?
don't you have this
You
written
couldn't
down?
name 3 North American teams.
That's the answer.
Wow,
Can
nobody
we
gets
just
cool
go?
points. He's just lost more cool code points. We're going to reprimand him in a few moments here. We'll
Prove
do it
me
during
wrong.
the break. We'll send you guys out. We'll
Damn.
see you for round 2 after the break.
You can save an average of 2 times more with our smart savings tools. For everything we want, we're all better off with an ally.
Tries to send one to the back of the net, and he will triple, but you said the double might work out. How about a triple?
Oh my! This time, fire! Try to clear this away. Landing on with the man. Picks up the steam. It's still there for Jimmy. He scored!
You're making the spirit into the soft light. This unfamiliar glare blocks me out. I'm blinded. Inspired my efforts to keep you satisfied. I seem to be losing you. It's not worth the fight. So I speak up. I scream into the void. I reach for a hand to guide.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Rocket League Championship Series. We're here on day one of the North American Open of the Winter Split. I'm Leaf. Stumpy is with me, and Cole has been reprimanded. And we also had enough time to do his job for him. I've done some intense research all by myself, no help from anyone else.
Proud of you, man.
Especially not Gibbs, on finding the actual answer to who were the three teams that beat FaZe there. Was G2, SSG, and Complexity.
Oh.
Did you get any of those right even?
I said two of them, I think.
You said two of the biggest teams in North America.
I said
I'm
two
not
of them.
proud.
I'll take the 66%. That's the 2-1 in.
He's guessed his way
British
into
beauty.
a passing grade here.
It's better than you got, mate.
We're heading into round two soon here. These are our results from the first one. Lots of sweeps, Stumpy, across the board. Early on, we had a couple close matches there, but 3-0s is a pretty common scoreline I'm seeing here.
Yeah, Gen G 3-0 over Koi. Furia managed to smash Rebellion as well. Version 1 3-0 over Accrue. G2 over Axel. And Space Station over Matey. I feel like they're probably the ones that we would expect. The only one that I think we wouldn't is that FaZe went to game 5. That's like the only one that I'd be looking at thinking, wow, that was close.
Cool. Now this is where we stand, just in the groups in general. We still have a few more matches to go, but getting that first early win is nice. It gives a little bit of a mental push to be like, okay, we're in the right position, but you still have to hold on for the rest of these matches.
Completely, yeah. You can't rest on your laurels at all. As I said at the start of the show, excuse me, it's very easy for the table to swing in your favor with a win or two. It's also very simple for it to swing against you. You win your first one, you think you own the place, then suddenly you lose your next three and you're out. It's like, wait, what? How did that suddenly happen?
Oh, let's get on to round two then, because we have a few more matches to find out how these results for the groups will finish off here. Reminder, we're only going to be able to dive into one of these matches, so please head on around to all of your favorite teams, your favorite orgs, get in the chat, support them away, have those streams up, multiple if you want. Even if you have one monitor, you can at least 4 comfortably on your screen, but also stay here to make sure that you get just fantastic content and your new fan rewards as well. But let's focus in on the match we will be having here on the main broadcast. It's going to be Shopify Rebellion facing off against FaZe Clan, a team we saw a little bit of in that last round there. They may have had a couple more games than they might have wanted to, Cole. I mean, we know they usually do well on these early days here. PK almost added themselves to that list, though.
Yeah, they did well, PK. It's the sort of result, you lose 2-3 to FaZe, almost get a reverse sweep, and you get a lot of confidence going forward into that one. But unfortunately, one team that are not going to have as much confidence going up against FaZe Clan right now is Rebellion. They were 3-0'd earlier on against Furia. They managed to get them. So they got some goals, though. It ended in overtime in game number 3. So they've at least got something to work with going forwards.
Yeah. Well, chat, who do you think's got this one? I think I know which way it's going to go, but hashtag SR and hashtag FaZe in the chat, and then we'll look at the very high percentage for FaZe in just a few moments. Let's look at the high percentage for FaZe on the desk too, because I think we've all preemptively thrown FaZe Clan on the board, Stumpy. Yeah, I mean, it sure was a close game 5, but FaZe Clan is still one of those teams that I have faith to remain relatively consistent, and based on day ones, they have been relatively consistent.
This is just sort of what happens in these groups sometimes. Like, you have literally one of the greatest teams in the world with one of the greatest players in the game on FaZe, and it's like, well, yeah, they're going to win. If Rebellion get this, it's the biggest upset realistically that we're going to be seeing in this competition, apart from Koi over Gen G or something. So I just feel like FaZe, they are just the one. They're just better. And chat, how harsh have you been with your percentages? I wonder.
I reckon 80.
Oh,
that is actually good for Shopify.
Lower than I thought.
Yeah, nice. Not too bad at all. Yeah, Shopify might have a chance. No, I don't know if they will, but hey, hopefully you have at least a good match here. So, Cole, Stumpy, have fun.
Thank you, Leaf. I mean, stranger things have indeed happened than Shopify Rebellion being able to beat FaZe in one match in the group stages. Don't get us wrong. But I think that FaZe bringing in Mist, he was the perfect player for them.
Yeah, and although, we've seen FaZe now go 25-3 in their first round games,
wow,
they've actually never won a second round game in the entirety of the RLCS. What a crazy stat that would be if I wasn't just lying to you. Of course, they're still very good in those second rounds. I feel like, to be completely honest, if you're Shopify, you're thinking, How well can we do versus FaZe, and how will this set us up for that third round game when we play versus PK? But early on, First Killer is going to be shooting on target as the bumps come out immediately.
It is the last thing you want when you come up against FaZe, to go behind early on. Especially, you know, if it's a First Killer won the goal, that's one thing. But FaZe worked the ball well there was a bump involved. It was a regular Rocket League goal, just showing that FaZe have the extra pace over Rebellion right now. And look how much control they're having of the ball. You can't let them just get all the boost, dribble in the air, and not be charged down. If nothing else, we need to see a lot of charge downs from Rebellion right now.
FaZe wanting to try and get rid of as many players seemingly on Shopify's side as they possibly can. Passes going up. First Killer trying to go for those bumps as well, but a push coming in from Mist. Come off that double tap attempt from Typical. Pass in the middle, flicking central, but two pieces beaten to the ball by First Killer. One of the fastest, most incredible players we have seen take this game up. And FaZe in this most recent split, we're going to want to be seeing them, especially at that Winter Major, which we're all, you know, they're one of the locks realistically to be going through to that Winter Major. Easily. A lot of people want to see them taking those international land victories.
But they have to start turning semi-finals appearances to become a bit of a meme, you know, top 4 FaZe. They have to start turning them into tournament victories. That's the final piece of the puzzle for FaZe. All the teams they go out against in the semi-finals, the amount of times they've beaten them in the Swiss, beaten them in the group stages.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a little bit different for them in the semis. So that's the last key for them to really become, you know, one of the more storied rosters in Rocket League history. But that's
they started that in full. They started that in full. They won events now. You know, they went to those grand finals. They managed to do fantastically until Gen G obviously just went utterly sicko mode and just 4-0'd them because they were just on something that day, right? FaZe, they're starting to grow that ice. They're beginning to be chillier than we've seen them be. And that's a terrifying time for any other team in North America, a region that is becoming more and more stacked with every single roster move that we see and every single team and player move over to that region.
Well, let's see what 2Piece, Path, and Memory are able to offer. You know, between them, there's a lot of experience there, particularly from Memory. You need more than experience. We need a bit of quality up against FaZe. You need to be able to charge down these dribbles for a start. Missed the ball, just bounced off in there. The player challenging him pinged away, and this was able to keep on going. But since going behind, I would say that Rebellion have shown some looks. They've been a little bit active in the orange half, and it's not a terrible start for them apart from the goal.
Not at all. I mean, they went down by 1 because Typical was bearing down on the final defender left at the back, but they've had some fantastic interceptions. FaZe at times being somewhat choreographed, knowing exactly what they're going to do. First Killer took about 2 seconds to set up a pass earlier, and 2Piece intercepted that. So we're seeing them get red a good few times, and First Killer working his way out of his defense with little boost. That demo coming in, opening up that back line. Once again, the aggression is awesome.
I wonder how many people looked away as soon as that demo came in, because they're like, yeah, First Killer's going to score. You know, I can come back after the goal explosion. I don't need to see this. There is 0% chance that First Killer going for a double tap with boost, twirling around and a little octane, is ever going to miss. The man's consistency, mechanically, I don't think we've seen too many players like First Killer. You know, when players are that mechanical, part of the beauty of mechanical players, and I'm thinking of, for example, AJ, the player FaZe dropped, is that they are off or on.
Yeah.
First Killer is always on, and he's always mechanical.
He's unbelievable. He's one of the greatest players in the world. You know, he managed to get into that second spot on that Shift Top 20 list of last year. And a few people argued against it, sure, but his consistency is something else. Memory bringing back a goal for Rebellion, reducing that deficit to just 1.
The conversation shifts. 1 minute we were just chatting away about how FaZe were brilliant and how First Killer was completely in control, but then 1 goal from Shopify Rebellion with 1 minute and 20 seconds left, is enough to suddenly make this one a little bit less certain. So let's see if Rebellion can make the most of it.
Holding on now are FaZe with a flick over the top. Path is going to be pushing Typical to save it away onto the backboard. It wraps around onto the opposite side. Path there again, ever present, pushing down on that FaZe defense. First Killer sees Typical central. Instead goes for that shot, blocked out. Good idea to go for that early block. Missed turning away on that challenge towards that blue net. Missed into that back corner now with 2Piece waiting again. Choreographed, and 2Piece is the one to be intercepting.
Good touch from Memory, keeping the pressure on FaZe right now. Typical takes the touch. It could be risky. Path has been tempted in and almost backfired, but for 2-piece all the way back. Still 40 seconds left. So much time for Rebellion to get back into this one. They just need one bit of luck to go their way. 2-piece can be forced. Huge demo from Memory on Typical. Missed to the side. Typical spawns that side, but won't be able to get there. I think the 2-piece doesn't want this second touch. Path up, wants the second, won't quite get it. FaZe having to do some defending. Thing is, Rebellion are defending so deep because they know that if FaZe get one touch past them, that will be game over. They have to take the risk in the last 10 seconds.
FaZe have gone for a good few long shots, and you're right, that completely nullifies that third man because he knows he has to sit back just that little bit further. Memory catching the ball from that missed touchdown. Memory now 15, but First Killer pushing it out to an awkward position. Typical is there to receive the ball, gets the flip reset, 50s it to the floor. Late demos sees FaZe Clan and the screen lights up in red as the first dub rolls in.
Pretty much what we expected there in game number 1. First Killer with a couple of goals for his team, but Rebellion did come back, so there are green shoots of hope for Shopify. This is whether they can do any more than that in this series going forward. Now, Leaf, I was having a scan of these series, and I'd say that pretty much all of them, not the results, but just the sort of matchups. I would wait for you, of course. And it seems to me that most of them have got a firm favorite. Are any results going against that firm favorite?
Yeah, so you've definitely spoiled yourself if you're setting me up like this right now. Because
no, I haven't at all. I don't have a clue. I truly know nothing.
You're a greedy little ginger, aren't you?
I don't know anything. I'm clueless and foolish.
Yeah,
right?
You know what? North America looks to be just round 2 going exactly as expected. Psych!
What?
Mateo taking down NRG in game 1.
Yar! Yar, matey! Yar.
They're, so NRG, it was a short-lived run. We'll see. I mean, it's still early on. It's best of 5, right? It's too much pirating.
True. But that's the faith we don't have of NRG. Like, it was a flash in the pan. They had a good run, but now they're losing to Matey. What a shame.
It's all done. It's all doom. We're hearing up for that.
No, surely not.
Captain Blackbeard going to take him down
that quickly. Surely, Leaf. You're
no, absolutely not.
Matey,
It'll be fine. M80 former Xset roster taking him down. So if you want to see an exciting match, head on over to those team streams as well. But pretty standard across the board, except for as well Team Axel taking a game off version 1 just now.
Oh.
Big results then. So there's a lot of stuff going on, guys. If you've only just come to this stream, we're not the only one we're covering, but one of our many matches happening right now. There are 8 taking place all at once. Gosh, you're lucky. First Killer not able to get that shot there, but if you want to see some other incredible shots that might even go in, you can have a little gander at some of the other streams that are available. Just look at the Rocket League category on your streaming website of choice.
Once again, FaZe have started this second game hugely quickly. Barreling down, First Killer nearly the flip reset in the first 15 seconds, and the passing plays, able to mix up their attacks in insane ways every single time. FaZe Clan, but there's only 1 goal between the 2 teams overall so far. It's 0-0 in the second one. Reminder as well that in their first series, Shopify Rebellion got better and better against Fury as it went on. Game 1 was a 2-0 loss. Then after that, it was a 3-2 loss. Then after that, it was 3-2 in overtime. So a team that are improving mid-series. And if they can improve on that first game, then maybe, just maybe, they stand a chance.
The midfield battle commencing here on Forbidden Temple. And I saw a post earlier on social media where it said, casters, stop talking about how much you love Forbidden Temple being back. Nah, I love it.
It's really good.
It's
my
so
favorite
pretty in pink. I like it a lot. But minute 30 with no incident just yet. We're still trying to see that Shopify Rebellion bring it towards FaZe as hard as they can. 2-piece on that backboard. Finding Memory. Path is central. Path is up.
Go on.
But missed with that free cognition, able to jump in the way.
Lovely read from Memory, though, as well, to find Path, who couldn't quite connect, but Memory will be able to get some boost here. So Shopify should be pretty okay as far as boost is concerned. You do 2-piece. Could any of these players make a name for themselves against FaZe? Put themselves in that conversation of players, individuals, teams that deserve to be just knocking on the door of San Diego. Maybe it's Path, maybe it's right now. He gets an assist, but typical. What a demo that is on 2-piece when he was about to pull the trigger.
Yeah, shutting down those players when they've got their eyes set on the ball. You can come out the blind spot, remove them from play entirely, and just make sure that that is completely shut down. Then the counter-attack can continue. First Killer touching gently towards Typical, but instead takes the ball himself, launches it into the ceiling, tries to then go down for the ground pinch. Everything that First Killer does, it looks like he's spilling a bucket of paint everywhere, but he is making artwork with every stroke.
I'm just trying to figure out that.
Just move on.
I think it makes sense. Memory, needs to move on as well. Missed. Can't
Jason
quite
Pollard.
get there. It was
His
closed
name's
down.
Jason. Anyway, Leaf laugh. 1-0.
Wasn't a snort though.
Wasn't a snort. Half point.
No, you lose points for a laugh. You gain points for a snort. It's a very weird scoring system, but the game's the game, you know?
I'm North American. We laugh at everything you do that's not funny.
That's fair.
That's how we made our career.
Yeah. Sonics have not realised just yet. 2 minutes remaining on Forbidden Temple, and this 0-0, I feel, is only suiting in favour of Rebellion. Like, this is only building confidence. Cole, you said that they worked their way into series. Series certainly being proven.
I mean, another theory is that any second first killer can just punish you out of nothingness. And you can see how much respect they give him. As soon as he has the ball, there's always at least one player just camped on that Shopify Rebellion goal line. You can't blame them, but so far, First Killer and his team haven't found a way through. Maybe that changes now. Two-piece again. Huge pre-jump save. Path to the side. Shopify Rebellion growing in confidence, believing they can defend at the very least against FaZe. And they turn it around when they're on the attack. First Killer, another 50. They know that's coming. He's coming again, though. Two-piece, a huge save yet again. Typical to the corner. Path sends it high. And Two-piece, the savior so far in this series, gets it away to the other side. And might even score it.
Strong shooting on that chance, but typical to save it away. And then finally, the long shot, they've left it open, but Path is able to get it away until First Killer just about taps that ball in. The shot going off the crossbar. It was close to not being anywhere near in until it is tapped by Two-piece and Path.
That's why they call him six-shot first killer. He takes his first shot, gonna be saved. Takes the second, gonna be saved. Takes his fifth, gonna be saved. But that man does not miss 6 times.
Or
1-0 FaZe Clan.
Sorry.
They get saved as well.
Okay, sorry for me. Yeah, make sure.
Two-piece! Oh, man.
Two-piece has been the player for
He's the
Rebellion so far. He has been, I mentioned him in that game number 1. He was intercepting and just making sure that his vision was exactly what he thought. Basically, what's the perfect play to do here? And FaZe will probably do it, and therefore I can read that. He's been brilliant, and I think that Two-piece is able to read this game to the point where he shuts down FaZe a good few times. And even on that defense, he's up where those shots find themselves in. The demo coming in too, he's not alone. Shot high, Path is able to get out of the tiny, but First Killer saving away Two-piece. This shot, devastation in the final 20.
That is so frustrating. There was an open goal among that as well. I think Memory just had to roll it home, try to do too much. When you're up against FaZe, you feel you got to shoot it perfectly. They're going to go to the end, though. There's a bump attempt. Path has got the flick. Typical helps out Mist, who was just stranded in goal. This must be the end. Typical is able to get it down. Two-piece high. So near yet so far to Shopify Rebellion. It's FaZe Clan that win game 2.
And red fills the screen yet again. Oh my word. Okay. This is Rebellion, though, starting to turn it around. They're wanting to keep this pressure up as much as they can. They only lacked by 2 shots compared to FaZe that time. And they're near enough equal on saves too. So fantastic job by Rebellion to hold it just to that 1. But you're literally not winning games if you're holding it to just a 1-goal loss. It all still counts as 1 loss. So they need to just be trying to pull themselves into that winning position.
Now, Leaf, I'm scared to ask anything specific because you'll tell the world and me that I've been cheating looking at the scores.
No.
I don't know anything that's gone on, Leaf. Tell me everything.
Lots of fun stories, to be honest. NRG did bounce back in game 2. So game 3, they're tied up 1-1. They are back. G2, this is my favorite one right now, are currently trying to speedrun groups as they look for another sweep. They almost... I felt Shogun's ears perk. There was almost a Shogi sweep. We almost had a 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, but they're up 2-0 right now. So, it's 2-1 now. So that has been ruined, but they are looking to stomp through their groups right now, which is really fun. Gen G is having a bit of trouble. They're in game. They got game 1, but game 2, they're tied into a minute overtime with Dignitas right now. So they've only won most of their games by like 1 goal. So it's not been a stomping for them this turnout.
Well, Jack, moving to North America to get away from Dignitas, and yet here they are, chasing him all the way across the pond. If you're going to be seeing what is happening with Gen G, have a look at their channel. You can see all of their stream, you can see all of their passion as well, with new boy traitor Dazarin.
Dazarin. The problem for NRG. Let's see if NRG can keep their streak going. And I want to see a little bit more from Shopify Rebellion, Stumpy. Two-piece, he's my boy. He's getting himself a goal in this game, I'm confident.
Well, we're unbiased here, bear in mind.
Yeah, I still root for Rocket League, mate. And 2-piece score on a goal.
Here we go.
It's what's best for this series. Here he is,
here
up
we
against
go.
First Killer. First Killer, though, is a decent player himself. Finds Mist to find the corner. Coming up against First. First Killer's beaten all ends up. How rarely do you see that? And Typical's touch isn't great either. Or maybe he knew exactly where Mist was, so it was okay. Demos
These
come
ideas
flying in.
Coming out, these demos, trying to weaken that backline too. Because if you're going to be trying to shake up FaZe, I think rarely will a team be able to do it by purely outplaying them. There are very, very few teams in the world that are going to be able to out-mechanic, be anything on the ball play is going to be hard. So what you have to do, look away from the ball, remove them from the pitch entirely, go 2v3 mode, get those demos, just try and hunt them, make them just completely unsafe in their own net, and they're constantly moving, using that bit more boost.
Typical sends that one high and long, and then gets the second touch himself. An absolute thunder doink. That's got some power on it. First Killer can keep it going for Path, who does have 2-piece in front of him. If he can just navigate that ball towards him, not quite possible. But again, it's a close 0-0 going into at least halfway through this game. If Mist isn't able to put an end to that, there's good defending from Shopify Rebellion. FaZe Clan definitely have slowed down since game 1, not looking as devastating, and that's in a big way how well Shopify are playing.
First Killer on the right-hand wing is trying to flick it just past Path, but Path intercepting. Typical now in the air, but with 0 boost, he has to hand it off to First Killer. Stealing pass towards Mist, wide of the net, and Path's able to catch. Flicking towards that right-hand side if you're on that blue team. Memory in the sky, 70 boost, but it just goes too far. No control, just forgoes the ball back towards FaZe, who have had so much possession in this game in particular. Typical handily beating out Path there, and that pace is starting to continue and turn up as First Killer turns up himself.
I'm just trying to imagine playing against FaZe Clan and First Killer. You think, right, we're really on top of this, we're getting into it, and then suddenly First Killer just clicks his fingers, you're out the game. It's Typical that gets the goal, but the turn of pace from First Killer, my mind boggles with how consistently he does those sorts of plays, and how even these, the best players in the world, whoever he's up against, struggle to deal with it time and time again.
There is something special when First Killer goes to that supporting role. He becomes different. He becomes just every teammate that you could ever want wrapped into one. He is sensational at that role. Becoming that second, third man is where he thrives. And when everybody on FaZe is reading that too, that's when they become towards that level where you see them winning those regionals, where you think this is one team that could really be on top of the world.
Excuse me, sir. Would you like some information? Would you like some information? Okay. While G2 is speedrunning,
let the man turn the left.
No, but they scored. They scored while he was talking.
FaZe Clan is winning. This is why I interrupted. It's
really
over.
Good goal.
Ratio.
Sorry, I'm
Well, I'm never going to talk again. How about that?
Leaf, I would like your information, please. Go.
All right.
All of you.
G2 speedrunning. On the other end, we do have a 2022-23 season record right now. SSG and Optic were in 11-minute 13 overtime, longest of any region in the season so far. So if you want something exciting, other than a 3-0 sweep like we're seeing here, head on over to those team streams. That's really it. That's all.
That was good. Hey, I like
okay?
that. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Well, we come back to then FaZe being 2-0 up versus Shopify Rebellion in game and in series. As Lee said, if you do want to go look at anything that isn't a 3-0, please feel free to go and look at any of the other series that are going on. There's so many casters, so many great people. Go and support them. Mist sinking the third, and that is going to be 1 apiece for FaZe Clan.
Speaking of a piece, 2-piece is still going to score in this game. I said it was going to happen. So I'm still believing that in the next minute and 2 seconds, we're going to see a 2-piece wonder goal. Because of the Rebellion players, he is the one who is definitely...
He's been the standout.
Yeah, he has. He's made the biggest statement for himself. FaZe too good, though, of course. I don't think a reverse sweep is going to be on the cards in this game. And FaZe looking sort of pretty much favourite for this event so far, apart from Gen G. FaZe and Gen G, they're the two still, aren't they, for North America,
I feel
really?
like these groups just sort of happen, and they're not that representative. First Killer getting that 4th goal as well. Hopefully we're finishing 4th in this event. A lot of people are going to be looking at FaZe 2, I think, start off this split strong, wanting to make sure that they start off on that right foot, they win that regional, and then Gen G are thinking, okay, maybe we get our chance later. But FaZe want to try and hold them back. Gen G dominated at the most recent major over in Rotterdam. They did the greatest job that they could have done FaZe just weren't there for it. FaZe weren't able to get that win, something that they keep looking for, of course. So, yeah, I think these groups, they tell a story, but it all comes down to how teams play tomorrow and on Sunday.
Can't really disagree with that at all, to be honest.
Thanks, man.
Completely fair. No, fair point. So for now, it's just FaZe seeing this one away. It's a decent day's work so far. They survived the scare. First kill is still getting to stakes out. Time for one more wonder goal. Is this going to stop it? Is this going to help it? No one knows what's going on.
Oh,
This
he nearly gets
the
it
crossbar, and then first killer takes away Sipicle's numbers. Sorry, Sip. I'm the
Just
big man
toying.
here.
Toying with their food. I like seeing them mess around. Yeah, I always like it when teams like, look, we're 4-0 up, lads. We're going to get a fix, really.
Oh,
Let's just be silly. Path manages to get the sole goal for Shopify Rebellion. Unfortunately for them, though, it's not going to mean anything. And just so people are aware completely of this format, 4 teams, 4 groups. Yeah, first in your group, which is exactly what FaZe Clan are trying to do. They are going to be able to go through and not play that first round in the playoffs. They go straight to the quarterfinals, and they play tomorrow, whoever is first in their respective groups.
Can't wait to see FaZe versus Furia. What a matchup that'll be for top of Group B, assuming Furia are doing well against PK. But Leaf, maybe that's not happening.
They are doing well against PK, actually. I think that just in this game, they're about to lose it, but they were, I do believe, at match point against, yes, they are. They're a match point. Knights trying to grab back at least one game, reverse sweep for themselves. Gen G about to hit their full sweep. It's been like 1-goal games, but they're getting the dubs. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Is slow and steady train for Gen G.
That's what they do, though, Gen G. They are not a team that need to blast people away. They are intelligent. They are organized. I always say, whenever Gen G is struggling, and we saw them in the Rotterdam Major have the biggest struggle of all, the Nolly moment
Oxygen.
When they lost to Oxygen. There was talk of, is this team about to collapse? But you always know with Gen G, that's just not going to happen. The minds that they have, as well as the mechanics that they have, just always steer them towards the end of a tournament.
I mean, these two teams as well are going to be somewhat fatigued, I feel, after that 11-minute overtime. Final 30 seconds in this second game. Up Space Station currently up, wanting to level the series up to 1 apiece. I don't know, Leith, have you just been looking at the results, or have you been looking at these games in particular? Have you got any vibes?
I've been keeping them up across the board. Space Station was up 2-0 at one point. So this is a climb back from Optic right now as they try to get themselves a match point. And I'm specifically watching the NRG M80 match, Medio match. Because Medio is at match point against NRG. It's 2-1 in that series. NRG is up 1-0 with a minute 40 left in that game 4. But yeah, it's not the hot stuff we saw before.
NRG, what are you doing? Win, you're already good. Come on.
Well, it's difficult to win. Winning matches of Rocket League is not simple, Stumpy Goblin. Even for NRG, unless you're G2 or FaZe.
Yeah, G2 just came off of an overtime with the crew, which they lost, which puts them into...
The speedrun's dead.
Yeah, speedrun is dead. But I think they probably saw the overtime and said, all right, we got time to relax. Let's have some fun here. Maybe we go for some highlight plays. And they lost the game as a result. That's probably
they were triple committing, all 3 of them, sort of going forward, trying to get double flip resets each in the same play, and then the ball just rolled in against them. Like, oh yeah, probably should have just scored an easy goal in overtime.
Could you? Okay, question here now, theory crafting.
Go on, man.
Could you get a car flip reset on the bottom, another one on the top, and then somehow flip and pinch it into like a cannonball yourself?
Could I?
What, too? Well, no, I know you couldn't, but like, could one of these teams end up that would be very difficult to coordinate, but very cool.
So I've thought of this. I feel like we'll get to the point where players will jump and flip reset off each other. Like
what
teammates
a load of
will jump
rubbish.
up, put their wheels together, get the flip reset, fly apart, then do a mid-air flip reset pass. That's going to happen.
That sounds like a sports anime, like a special move, or in Power Rangers or something.
And what if
where they jump
not
up,
an anime?
time pauses, you know what I mean?
Activate the friendship move.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's the friendship pinch. That's what it
is.
is.
Let's touch tires.
What? Wait, and you don't think that that's ever going to happen?
I don't think I would ever do a friendship pinch
Because you don't have any friends.
If I was an AI bot that was trained to play this game for 37 million hours, I would I'd never learn how to do the friendship pinch. You know,
I feel like that would happen. I feel like that's not that out of possibilities, or at least freestylers would do it at some point, right? And
that might be a thing.
Yeah, you'd see that, but then people would think, oh, is this then going to come back into? That was a lovely goal from a crew. Is that then going to come back into the mainstream of the RLCS? Will we see somebody do it? That's how we saw every big move realistically start. So I just feel like there's a place for that to happen, where you can get your reset off your mate, or people just go to the ceiling instead. Like, that's probably just easier.
Someone in chat made a great point that it would be a reset, not a pinch, for a start. So it wouldn't be a friendship pinch.
Well, no. You use the reset, go apart, and then you pinch the ball.
Oh, you come back together like a helix.
Yes.
You clap the ball.
Oh, maybe it's called the double helix.
The double helix is a much better name.
Yeah, double helix is better. Yeah.
Sorry, friendship pinch.
I like how we're getting
quite fun though.
We're getting ahead of the mechanics here. We're already getting the names, so we don't have to debate it.
Name first, then figure out. All right, that could be a different game. Say the name first, and then figure out what it would be. What could a marshmallow flip be?
What?
Do we?
You got to figure out. So there's the name, and then figure out what it could be. It's the new fun game.
I think we're a little off the rails.
You eat a marshmallow, and then you do a flip.
Yeah, there you go. That's fun.
All right, you've done half of that, mate. Now do a flip.
Right, I wish I had some marshmallows. I'd be happy.
I know you do. I know you do.
Version 1 at match point now, up 2-0 in this game 4. And we do see NRG also claw back into, I believe that would put them in game 5. So that's a match point. I'm sure we'll dive to them at some point. But Knights are also fighting back against Furia, who was at match point. They get back their first win. They're up now in that game 4, looking to bring that to match point. So round 2, going the distance in multiple matches. There's only been one 3-0 so far, and that was Gen G. Or sorry, FaZe Clan, sorry, too.
I'd like to test your allegiance quickly, Leaf.
Okay.
Were you and NRG just a fling? Or do you think they can beat Matey Yar?
I absolutely think they could beat Matey Yar. But it definitely hurts the soul when they're not. But hey, shout outs to Matey Yar.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're doing a great job. And another team, just quickly, is doing a great job. A crew are coming back from being I think it was 4-1 down. It's currently 3-4.
Ooh.
They got
a minute as well
on G2. Yeah, they've got a minute left. They've got I think 2 or 3 goals in the last minute as well. G2 just starting to lack just a little bit.
They keep going for these. There's the marshmallow flick from the top.
How's that a marshmallow pinch or hit or whatever you said? Flick.
Marshmallow flick.
You said
because
flick first, but
you slow your car down.
He didn't.
And that's like the soft, squishy part of the marshmallow.
Nothing squishy about it.
But then the hard, firm sort of. We know when a marshmallow gets a bit old, it gets like a bit of firm.
Why is it hard? Why are you eating old marshmallow? Why are you eating this crusty glob of sugar down the back of your sofa?
Well, that's what like a when you put the marshmallow in the campfire, when it makes
and it goes softer.
Yeah, no, it does on the inside.
It doesn't
there
melt.
is a crispy bit.
Okay, but
you
said hard on the inside.
Oh, did I misspoke. Fair enough.
You misspoke. You're not just making it up on the fly. Sorry,
that's the one thing that I retract about anything I've ever said. That I meant to say hard on the outside.
Right.
Okay.
You're talking nonsense, Coolcar, for being completely honest with you.
I think
I'm giving you a
quick
performance review.
Flick.
Pinch. And we called it the double helix, which is way cooler.
That is way cooler. You called it that, didn't you, mate?
Yeah, I did, mate, actually. So
well done. Oh, G2's goal. I honestly wasn't even looking.
That's the goal you were talking about.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. My brain is awful. You're right. That was the marshmallow.
What are you? How do you have a job?
That was... Yeah, it's because I was thinking about marshmallows, man. My brain just melts away.
What?
Complexity 3, Koi 1, Stumpy. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, yes, Complexity are doing a fantastic job. And again, they get the 4th goal. Okay, so Complexity, they're probably going to be winning this one, however much time is left, because it says replay currently where the timer is. What else is going on? NRG and Matey? What's going on in that game, Leaf?
Over on NRG, Matey. NRG is up 1-0 with 2 minutes left.
Oh,
yeah. So
that's Matey time, though. We all know. Matey,
it is. They're on the offense right now, and they're almost scoring. They're hitting crossbars, but they're getting offense. So it's not like it's a wrap up here for NRG.
I love this. I love the Optic overlay. They've just got Optic versus bad guys. And I imagine they don't change that at any point. It's just always the bad guys.
It'd be harsher if it was just for this match that it's bad guys. Every other team actually says the full names, yeah. But against SSG, they're bad guys.
They're just the bad guys, yeah. I mean, fair enough. Oh, I guess they've got Retals, so maybe they are thinking that, you know?
True. Fair point.
But by the way, I'd like to also shout out Knights up 3-0 coming into the final minute here of Game 4. So they'll be looking for, if they can hold on to that, a Game 5 as well.
Huge.
That is huge. I think Complexity are going to see this one away. They got 40 seconds left to hold out against Koi.
I think they'll be able to do that.
Maybe Koi about that. I'll be pretty confident, probably. I think
NRG
about that
fans
result.
with bated breath right now. They'll look at that final minute.
Go for
Going.
Fish. Series is thin.
Just let Leaf do his job.
Is he like quietly making like
He's just
in the
talking.
background?
He's just saying stuff.
I'm having fun, man. That's what it's all about.
You know, we were talking before when we were rehearsing. I did like you get like the hype men kind of thing in the background, just a couple yeahs in background. But I'm not sure how I feel about the fish puns being.
You're not a fan of the fish puns? Because when Koi are in the final of the major, mate, the fish puns are going to come a-flying.
The final of the major, yeah?
Yeah, they'll be the flying fish.
That'd be gigantic. That'd be the biggest result if Koi make that. I mean, fair play if they do. NRG as well, by the way, they managed to do it. Right, 2-0, 6 seconds left. They've done it. Realistically. Sorry, matey yar. You're going to be winning this match. But I feel that's a good result for matey, considering how NRG dispatched of Optic earlier, realistically. That's a good performance for them.
Optic, who are giving Space Station a darn good game right now. You know, one game away from beating them, making NRG's performance subsequently look even better as well. And then if NRG go up against Space Station, who potentially have just lost against Optic, then they will be fancying a first place in their group and a guaranteed spot in the quarterfinals. NRG feeling pretty high right now, I bet.
Yeah. I mean, again, bit of a rough road through a challenge there through MAD, but you know, even if it's a 2-1, this is still a good showing with what teams they had in their group too for NRG. So I think NRG fans can definitely keep their head high going into that final round here. But before we get there, why don't we take a step down into this match? Optic versus Space Station Gaming.
Optic. LJ takes out Magic Bear. Okay, 3 demos on Optic in less than probably 10 seconds of gameplay. Arsenal with a solid 50 here. EJ gonna send it back to Space Station side. LJ's got some space off the wall. It's off the ceiling. He's got one more touch. He's beat Magic Bear. He's beat Reddles, and AJ dives in, making the save. Solid 1v3 attempt from LJ, though. That almost was highlight reel material. Daniel keeps this one close. Another double demo as well. Yeah, yeah. What a save by Magic Bear. LJ just had to put that one down. Allows Arsenal to come in. Arsenal
Good
just sent somebody
well.
Into Narnia. AJ removed from the plate completely. It's always funny to me when people talk about removing demos from the game. It circulates usually about once a year. And I just think the alternative of people not being demoed is them just getting yeeted to the other side of the stadium when they're bumped at full speed. And I think that's almost worse than being demoed. Magic Bear trying to get that demo in net. He does. He gets LJ demoed. AJ's got a 100 boost and a little bit of space, but Arsenal bumping him off that play. Reddles doesn't get the reset off the ceiling, but Magic Bear comes in to help him out.
Big clear opportunity here. Maybe a pop forward. AJ fakes for Reddles clear here.
Arsenal taking his time. Trying to slow this down, allow Daniel time to get back. LJ has 0 boost, can't do anything with that. Calm that down to Arsenal. Man, guys, another game, 0-0. Only got just over a minute left. That's not what I was expecting from this series at all. I thought this was going to be a shootout. When you talk about the mechanics of these two teams, I thought this was going to be an absolute shootout. AJ is just otherworldly mechanical. So is Daniel. I mean, so is everybody on both these rosters. So.
Oh, good save at the last second there by Reynolds too. Yeah, I mean, there are opportunities. I think this really is a test to how well both teams are defending, because they are pulling out some pretty good mechanical plays and opportunities. But a big miss.
And Space Station needs to score here, otherwise Optic is taking the series, and that could potentially make this group pretty interesting.
Open,
because Optic took the L to NRG earlier, so they desperately need this win. But if Space Station doesn't seal this, it's going to be tough to gain that #1 spot. LJ taking his time, gets it flicked past AJ, and AJ just narrowly gets a handle on that. Reynolds gets the bump, but LJ keeps it out of net.
Too.
We go to overtime. Oh, my audio just kind of scuffed out on me. 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Staying in this, LJ puts this over. Magic Bear almost gets that flicked over Arsenal, but Arsenal in the face of Optic. I'm starting to see Arsenal play that breakneck speed again. It worked pretty well for him at times, and other times not so much. We'll see which scenario we get here. AJ send this one long into Space Station side. Arsenal kind of passes that to Reddles.
But a pass back as well. Daniel with some space. Last man. Magic Bear's up.
Daniel! Aw. This is Rocket League. Reddles busting out the flip reset.
Reddles finishes it off of a flip reset.
Wow. Optic takes the series. Well played.
That's once again a situation where Space Station really didn't learn from the fact that, like, having a last.
There it is. Finish up there, but over on Furia versus Knights. Furia holding the lead. Final minute here, and you know we got to get the energy from Jorby. Let's dive down.
Zanil keeps the ball away. Cheese, 2 touches, but no 50. Zanil, he beats one. Zanil, just a quick shot and wanted the dunk, but Yan got too far up in front of it. Lost gets the clear again. Furia hanging on to this lead as time's running out. But it's been fully the Knights' possession as Zanil got the catch. Flips over one. He's off the ceiling. Lost, waits for it. A quick pass. Sosa's denied. Yan on the save. Card now waits on the back wall. Quick pass denied again. The King claims his domain. He makes another save. Lost gets the touchdown field. There's no time left. 2 massive saves from Card and Knights. One last try for them. They got to keep the ball in the air. But Furia with Lost. Sosa, one last clear, but it's too late. Furia win the game.
That was quite the hold of defense. That's why we went to Jorby. That's why we went to Jorby for those final moments. Always an exciting bit of energy when Mr. Furia himself has his team winning. If they were losing, we wouldn't have gone down to it.
He'd be crying. He'd be weeping.
He would be weeping. Yeah.
He'd still be yelling, but
he's a very loud crier.
He's shouting.
It's quite impressive.
Tears and spit everywhere.
Never seen a man project tears so far as Jorby.
Amazing.
Oh my God, I still had his stream up and he just did the most hype pop off. So yeah, definitely, definitely be on all the team streams as we continue on through our day one here. One more round to go for group stage. So come back after the break.
back of the net off of a monumental double. Getting away and gets a save. Not going to be in the end of the offense, though. Akise sends one to the backboard. Tries to send one to the back of the net. And he will triple touch. You said the double might work out. How about a triple?
Oh my! This time, Fire tries to clear this away. Landing on the foot of Andy. Picks up the steam. It's still there for Jimmy. He scored!
I think us Energy decided to stick together because of our just faith in each other, and we know that we've been steadily working and improving the things that we're lacking, and we have a very, very good mindset in terms of how we want to go forward as a team, and we're on the same page, and that's the biggest thing in terms of trying to move forward in this game. There's no point of rebuilding and starting fresh when we have a very good foundation, and we know what we have to do to be the best, and we're seeing results in scrims, and we know that we're not very far off where we used to be, and that we just need to make some minor little adjustments while playing these tournaments.
Jessica now get that flip reset onto Squishy! What an assist!
For the people that are calling for a change in the Energy roster, I think it's something that the scene is used to. I think as soon as a team is falling from where they were, it's something that's called upon by the community pretty often because it's just happened in the past. But I don't think that's necessarily the solution always. I think that's an easy solution for a lot of teams because it's tough to deal with the issues that come up in a long-term situation. But I think that we're really together for the longest out of any of the teams right now that are currently standing, and we're finding a way to work through that. And I think that's a special thing. And I think that's something that we can definitely do and get back to the top. So I'm very hopeful moving forward.
He's got something different here as he outspeeds beast mode.
Over the last few months, our focus has definitely been in trying to be more aggressive and trying to be a team that is capable of suffocating teams instead of a team that's capable of withstanding the pressure from another team and then countering and scoring. So it's definitely more about controlling the game now. That's our main focus.
Leads to a shot opportunity, and it's good for Justin.
All of us Energy definitely have a lot of faith in ourselves, and we all know that we can get back to where we were during the season next season and be able to compete for the very top spots at every international major and the World Championship. We know what we're capable of, and that's why we're believing in each other and sticking it out and trying to see where we go from here.
Slowly for NRG, but now here comes Garrett G, and he bullies his way through. Garrett G has NRG in the semis.
To escape. When you're walking on the moon, walking on the moon, chase your happy place. It will change your groove. When you're dancing on the moon, dancing on the moon. When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. That I've never been. When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some places that I've never been. When we dance again, that I've never been, that I've never been. Never Walking on the moon. One moment to escape. When you're walking on the moon. Walking on the moon. Taste your happy place. It will change your groove. When you're dancing on the moon, dancing on the moon. When we dance again, all our troubles seems to fade out.
Welcome back to the Rocket League Championship Series. Day one carries on the group stage here of the North American Open in the winter split. I'm Leaf, and I've got new friends, Stacks and Corelli. Stumpy was just too mean to Cole. He went off the cry, and I kicked Stumpy off. So, Corelli, behave yourself.
The Stacks and I just waved at the same time. We looked like bots there for a second. That was very robotic.
Stacks, you ready for some great games?
I am. I'm absolutely ready. I've missed the RLCS and CRL oh so dearly. The past little transfer window proved to us once again that this community cannot function without the RLCS, so it's great to be back.
That is very true. Let's take a look at. Let's get you guys caught. I'm sure you guys were watching, but we'll act as if you weren't. Let's get you caught up on what's been happening here. These are our results from the last round. Round one was a lot of 3-0s across the board. Round two, Corelli, we saw a little bit of closer matches here. Of course, a lot of 3-1s, but we saw teams start to find their footing as they get themselves back into their first regional here in the winter split.
Yeah, this round three, I think, is going to be the most interesting because through rounds 1 and 2, basically the top seed has won every single series, and in most cases it's been 3-0s, 3-1s. You've had a few game 5s, but you got your top seeds, your top dogs sitting on the top of the groups right now. We need some of these lower boys to kind of pick it up. Space Station, I think, is maybe the only team right now that I see that Optic result, and I'm kind of like, that's interesting because of how good Space Station was domestically last split. But other than that, it's kind of par for the course here for North America.
Just taking a look at the overall results from the groups here as we head into our final round. A reminder that first place here will get that bye into the next day. We will be playing the first round of playoffs after this group, so don't close the stream. We still have 2 more series on the main stream here to go. But if you're at the bottom, Stacks, that's no bueno for you. And I don't know if Gibbs is giving us some scenarios there for Group D. I don't know if you were able to skim over that. You seem to digest some of those scenarios things a little better than me.
Yeah. It's for Group D. It's rather simple. NRG in control of their own fate, and that's exactly where they want to be. Right? You win. You go number 1. No questions asked. And if you're M80, kind of a missed opportunity where you had NRG on the ropes and couldn't close that out. So yeah, basically what it all comes down to, if you got a 2-way tie, head to head is all that matters. If you have a 3-way tie, then we start getting into game differential between the tied teams. And then all chaos breaks loose from there.
TLDR, that group is still a little bit open because of those 1-1s, yes. But you do see the 2-0s across the board elsewhere there. So let's talk about the matchups coming here. We got a whole slew of Rocket League games to play. Reminder, we do have some of these matches, actually a majority of the matches, on other streams. The team streams are going on, so find your favorite team, your favorite org, favorite players, whatever it is, go support them in the chat or just have all of them open if you can multitask that well, because we do only focus in down on one matchup here. Corelli, is there any match here that we're not focusing on that you're going to have up on the side?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Second from the bottom there. NRG and Space Station. All that talk about NRG, all that talk about how they don't got it, and here they are. They're sitting 2-0. Top of Group D, but they got their, I would say, biggest opponent ahead of them here with Space Station. NRG looking to go 3-0 in Group D and sweep out, and they got to do it through Space Station, who we were mentioning before have been so strong during their domestic splits. So that's the one for me that I'm going to be watching on the side.
Well, Stacks, I got to ask you the same question then, or it wouldn't be fair.
Right, yeah. It's actually the second one from the top, Koi and Dignitas, because that's a fight for survival. You got, Gen.G and Complexity are 2-0 at the top of their group, but these two 0-2 so far, and Koi something's got to give. Koi has to take a series at some point. They have to get a win. They have to survive past day one eventually. And this is as good a shot as they're going to get all season.
And Koi, a reminder, is the former Rogue with Knight on the team there. And what I got from this is that Corelli likes to see winners. Corelli's like, I like to see the top dogs. But Stacks is like, I want to see these players stop. Who's at the bottom? Who's facing elimination? Who's trying to scrape by?
I want the matchup where, if you lose, it's all over. These teams up at the top, they have a little bit of a safety net.
Well, let's dive into our matchup here. We got a few minutes before we get into it, so we can talk about these two. Version 1 facing off against G2. G2 was looking like they were trying to get a speed run of the day, but Version 1 doing the same thing. Both these teams coming in with the exact same record. They're both 6-1 in their groups, so this is going to be a fantastic matchup. Now, based off what I've seen, Corelli, G2 looks like they're a little bit more feisty coming into this, but I am never going to count Version 1 out.
No, I think for this matchup especially, you look at maybe some of the history. Last three matchups have gone in favor of G2, but a couple of the series that I saw, or a couple of the games that I saw from Version 1, Beast Mode was cooking. He was pulling out shots I didn't even think he could make happen physically in the game. He was looking quite good. I think for G2, though, this is kind of the expectation when they come back to their domestic world is they're going to crush the competition. V1 has given them some trouble in the past, but as of recently, they've been the stronger team.
Well, I know you guys like to have something to do while we do Talk It League over here, chat. So get the hashtags in there. V1, G2, who you think's going to win this one? But Stacks, with this matchup, what's it take for Version 1 to take down G2, one of the stronger teams in North America?
Well, they've got history clearly not on their side. G2's won the last three that they've squared off. But I think for Version 1, in Beast Mode, we trust, right? He's been the guy. He's going to be the guy for as long as Version 1 can afford to pay him. And for this G2 squad trying to shut them down, good luck. They're going to need Torment to be on his, world championship caliber form defensively, because this is a high-flying attack, a very fast-paced attack, and they've been pretty hot so far today, talking about G2. They kind of ran it up against the crew and won a couple of shootouts over there. Mm-hmm. So I'm not optimistic that Version 1 can slow down G2, but if they can at least keep pace with them, they've got a shot.
So are you throwing G2 on the board then?
I'm taking G2 in this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I don't want to be the one to curse it, so I'm going to say I also had G2 coming in this one, just based off what I've seen. So, if anyone has to do it, it's got to be you, Corelli.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll go the Version 1. That's what I predicted before coming into this anyways, so I'll go Version 1 the opposite direction. I think they've been playing just fine. I think you're seeing kind of that G2 that everyone's a little bit afraid of. But Version 1, of all the teams here, I feel like have shown that they can beat G2. Not as of late, but they've given them some trouble before. I feel like that's going to play into it. I think Beast Mode looks good today. A lot of times, Version 1, they have maybe some slow starts. They don't play a whole series. I think so far today, maybe minus the Axel series, I think that they've been pretty clean throughout their day.
Okay, chat, which way is it going to go? Usually we think G2 right down the middle almost. I'll take it. I like a good close match. It mean everyone is going to be cheering away here. But I don't know, Corelli, going into this match, you think Beast Mode's the only thing that can make him a winner?
Listen, that's all you need in a lot of cases. He's Beast Mode. Come on now. He's the guy who's leading the charge on every team. You saw when he left Shopify Rebellion, he was going to be, that team completely fell apart. He's the engine, the lifeblood of any team he's on.
Well, here we go. Winner takes the top of Group C. It is that simple. Loser goes number 2 with Axel and a crew both fighting for survival at the bottom of the group. We'll give you updates on that and all the other series as we continue on here in our final round of the group stage. Calm downfield, trying to Make things awkward for Atomic. That demolition takes out Beast Mode. That leaves V1 in a tough spot, and G2 scores.
Well, there is another guy on the other side. Atomic. You saw a few highlights in the last series, starting off with a flip reset past Torment, and that's a feat in itself to get by Torment, and he does it in style. G2 able to jump on the board first here.
Yeah, it feels like G2 just overall is a deeper team than version 1. Just more threats offensively that version 1 might not be able to keep up with, as Chicago high out of the corner, looking for somebody to kick one out to at midfield, but nobody's there. So here comes version 1. After conceding the early goal, trying to get right back in it, it's Torment up ahead, but Beast Mode rotating out, trying to grab boost. He'll try and turn around at midfield and stay in the play. Coming in to send one around the boards. It's a wide open net, but nobody's home.
Yeah, nobody was there. Beast Mode doing a great job of keeping that play dangerous for version 1, but no one there trusting the process. Version 1 trying to threaten again. JNAP's touch only as far as Torment. Now a double commit. Everyone commits here for version 1. Is wide open, and Atomic gonna get a second.
So about that whole world-class caliber defense, there's none of it to be found over on the version 1 side, at least in the first minute 20. As Atomic's got a pair of early goals and a couple wide open nets from long range. Atomic looking for JNAPs this time. No, he's going to peel off, and Atomic takes that himself. And for version 1 now, I mean, they just can't afford to fall down multiple goals to G2. Again, this is not a team that they're going to be able to run up the score against, because for all the havoc that Calm can wreak on either end of the field, it's just not enough. They're too seasoned. They're too smart to be flustered by that kind of physical play.
Oh, that was a great demo from Atomic as well, removing Torment from the equation. Atomic again wants a hat trick, and it's denied by Torment. You really feel like version 1, even though they're only 2 minutes in, they've got to get their feet wet here. Another demo coming out from G2, very physical here in the first half of game 1. You can see these shots are so dangerous. Now 5 for G2, and they're keeping possession. This one off of Chicago, but you see how many chances G2 has to put something on targets, something that stays dangerous on that version 1 side.
This is where version 1 is going to be tested. JNAPs quickly off the side. That pinches across, and nobody can catch up to it. So Atomic has a bunch of time and a bunch of space, but he does not have a flip reset shot. Torment in the way. JNAP's network. Beast Mode's got that away. Outlet towards Torment. Calm takes over. He's got Beast Mode to his left, but he's got Atomic in his grill. And G2 have fended off yet another attack for the time being. Calm to center, and Atomic pops it away past Torment.
Very aggressive positioning from version 1. You can see even Beast Mode taking the ball away from his own teammate there. A little miscommunication, but you can see how far version 1 wants to push up their line. That's why that second goal went in, because they committed too hard. They're finding themselves on defense quite a bit because of it. A missed touch there from Calm lets Beast Mode come through. A couple touches, well, at least make it to the backboard, but still version 1 fruitless in their endeavor on the G2 side.
Torment for Calm, won the challenge, and Calm slips one by Chicago. V1 on the board, down just 1 goal now inside 90 seconds.
And I think it's important for Calm to have a decent game here. You heard a lot of the talk in the offseason about roster moves, not roster moves, and what that means for Calm and his mental. And I don't think he's the type of guy that's going to let it get to him. It certainly is in his best interest to perform at his highest level. And a crucial goal here. Now another touch from Calm. Lets Beast Mode come through, but the shot saved by Chicago.
And having someone like Torment as a teammate is actually going to be incredibly valuable for Calm, to have somebody who's gone through that. And we've heard it mentioned a couple times that Cloud9 tried to replace Torment multiple times, but stuck with him. And, well, you saw how things turned out for C9. Took a world championship as part of their reign in North America. Chicago shot here, tried to slow play, denied by the entire V1 defense, and Torment will clear this one away. 45 seconds remain. Beast Mode has that go over his head. Calm's going to try to hit him, and Atomic got in the way. That's a great intercept.
And now an opportunity. JNAP space. And running out of boost. The touch a bit too far in front of them. Version 1, they need one more chance here. Can they break out of their end? Chicago pushes Torment off the ball, kind of zoned him away from the save, and allowed this shot to go through.
And can we appreciate the snipe out of Atomic? Torment had to wait an extra moment too. Could not recover, could not react in time. 28 seconds remain. Little fake kickoff action for version 1. Calm, looking maybe to call his own number. Got JNaps out of the way, but Chicago's there. And that was V1's shot to make this a game again. Instead, it looks like we'll just play out the final 10 seconds for posterity's sake. Beast mode, trying to score with any time left, and Chicago avoids the contact, makes the stop, and ices game 1 for G2.
And I want to just say, Stacks, I love the physical, aggressive nature from G2 this game. You're seeing a lot of demos, a lot of attempted demos. You see what that does to a defense, and leave for this G2 squad. I mean, hey, you and Stack are saying it. How strong have they been so far? Well, it's a pretty good start here against version 1.
Yeah, no, I love again the faith in just a beast mode pull through, beast mode carry, but against a G2, I'm not sure it's going to be quite enough. I think this is a bit evidence enough. Obviously, things can turn around, but G2 is one of the few teams, at least for me, Stacks, that I can confidently say I generally have faith in most of the time to win.
Yeah, G2 has just been so reliable in this era where teams are very all over the place. I mean, we see it with NRG. I mean, it's kind of the Jekyll and Hyde act that they've had going on for the past year and a half. G2 doesn't have that. When G2 has a bad day, you all kind of look around like, wait a minute, this is not normal. Somebody else like a FaZe or NRG or Space Station has a bad day, you go, they'll be fine tomorrow. This happens.
Now, before we head back in there, just give you a couple updates across the board. I was just watching some of the teams you guys had your eyes on right now. And of course, for Koi Dignitas, Koi is up 1-0, but they're tied in game 2 here. And then for NRG Space Station, I do believe, Space Station is up 2-0 now, I believe, in that. Yeah, and one more quick one before I give it back to you here. Nice fun rivalry between Axel and Accru over on Twitter the other day. Right now, Accru is sitting now 2-0 in the series. So Axel kind of biting their words there on that beef.
Is our group supposed to have 3 teams? Yeah, they might not be in it anymore. How about Atomic? The guy just doesn't stop.
I'm still devastated hearing about the NRG. Down 2-0 against Space Station. Not my squishy. Anyway,
you were very high on energy coming into today too.
I predicted them to go 3-0. I predicted them to go be 3-0. I want to be right, okay? And I'm almost right.
Well, they can't all be winners.
Yeah. Well, eventually I will be. Atomic, he's been a winner so far.
Yes, he has.
Putting away that first goal, and
he's got all 4.
All 4 for G2. That's a stat right there for them and for everyone. I think who looks at G2. You need Atomic to be that guy. And when he's putting away 4 goals, all of your goals through 1 1/4 games, that's a great start to your series.
Well, Beast Mode trying to thread the needle through a lot of traffic. Gonna need help as JNaps all alone on the other side. Just feels like Beast Mode tried to do too much. Calm and Torment left to pick up the pieces. That demolition certainly didn't help matters. And JNaps gets the job done. Finally, somebody other than Atomic getting on the board for G2.
Chicago hasn't even touched the ball. Bro has 0 points. And they're up 2-0. He doesn't
there you go, you got a touch there.
He didn't get the points for it. He's still at 0.
I can relate. Chicago swats this away. Get some points eventually as Torment now out of the corner. Hop around JNaps. Here comes Calm. Hard off the backboard. Beast Mode's there. And Atomic to JNaps.
Wow.
Do we call game now, or do we wait a little while here?
I mean, how many of these have we seen, Stacks? This is like the 3rd or 4th goal I've seen where I'm looking at it from the perspective of JNaps, and there is nobody on the version 1 half. Not even their defensive third. There's nobody back. They are pushed way up, and I think a lot of it is they're losing the challenge game. They're not winning the challenges that they're expecting to at least 50. They're losing so hard the challenge game that space is opening up for JNaps and Atomic to just shoot on wide open nets.
At one point last season, version 1 had won 3 in a row against G2. And in fact, it won 4 out of 5. But G2 has owned this matchup over the last several months. Again, 3 in a row, and unless something changes drastically to almost biblical proportions, might be 4 in a row. Very quickly, Chicago just ahead of beast mode. Torment's got to grab a full tank of boost. Awkward for him as Calm calls him off. They'll just throw this one downfield into space, but as it has so often been the case, Chicago was there, and he's still ahead. Got the boost steal out of the corner, and JNAP's coming on around Torment, but beast mode's right there with possession.
Yeah, it's funny, Stacks, for the team that G2's playing, I've been talking about G2's physicality, G2's demos. Well, what about Calm? Have we seen a lot of demos come out from Calm? It feels like the play style is just not the same right now for version 1, and I think that's a play style that's been working for them, especially with Calm being one to chase a lot of demos. And for G2,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, I say Calm last night was tweeting about air dribble bumps. He was complaining about them. I'm like, am I reading the same Twitter feed of Calm of all people? Here's Chicago with beast mode jumping in front. Atomic with a drive, and that's sent away by Torment and beast mode. But the barrage continues, Corelli.
Yeah, it's been devastating here for version 1. You really haven't seen a lot of offense either. Beast mode sitting at 96 points, just one shot to his name. You're looking for more output from him. You're looking for more output, I think, across the board for version 1. Right now, it just seems like no one's interested in keeping possession. They're trying to make something happen on the solo plays, but they are met by great G2 defense right now. Everything's just a little bit off. That one going wide for Calm. And you can see G2 how quick they can turn it on the head right back to the version 1 side.
Second touch from Calm to send us downfield, but again, there's just not a lot of team play going right now with version 1 as they continue to struggle to get anything forward. And then when they do, they kind of leave the door open behind them. They've had a few empty netters given up here out of the 6 goals they've conceded. 6-1, the goal advantage for G2. And JNAP's looking for the 7th of the series for G2, but this time beast mode is there. He's burning a lot of boost and not going very far with it. Calm takes over with 40 seconds left. Got to have something on the board here, and Chicago's ahead of Torment and just could not get around before beast mode got in the way.
You can see how much of one player like Chicago is a threat to the entirety of the defense for version 1. Everyone else from G2, we're just watching Chicago go. Now, Calm's trying to turn this one around. He almost dunked it in. 20 seconds left for version 1. They've got to go.
The problem is they're going next as this one's thrown in front, and the timing not quite there between Atomic and Chicago. Down to 9 seconds left. The only drama left. Will it be a shutout? No. Beast mode scores with 7 seconds left.
This has been a slaughter from G2. I mean, what else do you want me to say, Stacks? They have been incredible, I think, on both sides of the ball. Defensively, hard challenges won throughout the midfield. Offensively, have looked stellar, but also as well for G2, they've taken advantage of, I think, the missteps from version 1. Version 1 have made a lot of mistakes here, leaving their the defensive third open a lot of times. For G2, you can't do that. G2's going to take advantage.
I'll give V1 credit. Down late, some nifty kickoff strats where we don't see teams put a whole lot of thought into their kickoffs. V1 has a couple plays designed to get them downfield quick. It just did not work out. They at least did get a shot with a few seconds left, which would have made for a very spicy finish. But now, Leaf, we've got another series at 2-0, this time in favor of G2, trying to close out the group stage a perfect 3-0.
We see that. And speaking of that, I got more great news. Corelli's did great on his prediction in this one so far, and he did great on his NRG SSG one as well. 3-0 for SSG. You went NRG. Oh.
Stop it. Stop.
Unlucky.
Don't do this to me, Lee. Yeah. I was watching that one happen during this game because, I mean, this one was over too, and I was just like, no, not my NRG. I thought you were going to be 3-0.
Yeah, that's not wasn't a hot day for them. As for Team Axel, Also, again, not a hot day for them. They started the beef on Twitter, and it got ended by a crew, 3-0 for crew, and it didn't even look close, to be honest. In all
they don't
honesty,
start nothing; they just finish it.
Yeah, exactly. Over there with Shopify Knights as well. They're fighting for the bottom there. Knights are looking pretty hot right now, so if you're a fan of them, be happy about that. And Koi is looking to shut down Dignitas as well with a 3-0.
Wow, Koi, look at that. 2-0, yeah, right now. That's a great start, too. Both those games going to overtime as well. So the New Oregon Koi, or ownership, I should say,
right,
almost able to get out of groups here. One more game.
FT Vander pulling numbers over there, too, with the Koi HQ. As Atomic and Chicago will trade off here, and we're underway in what could be the final game of the group stage for G2 in version 1. G2 has dominated this series. Beast Mode trying to chase down JNaps. He was able to shake him, and now Chicago couldn't get there in time with Beast Mode launching one out, but Atomic not allowing version 1 to get on their half of the field, and Atomic continues his reign of terror. Make it 5 goals in the series now as he just continues to batter and bruise V1.
That's a great shot from Atomic, too, to beat over Beast Mode there. And Beast Mode's touch was just poor. It came right back out to Atomic. Remember, Atomic was the one who hit it towards the sidewall there. He just landed and went straight back into a challenge and put it right on target. Atomic, he's been having himself a series stacks, but I feel like a lot of his goals, he had a great flip reset, but a lot of his goals have just been missteps, mistakes coming out from version 1.
Yeah, a lot of cleanup duty. JNap shot here, just wide off the post. Atomic launch one back netward, but nothing good happened there. Calm's got it, and he's got this off the backboard as well. Beast Mode around Chicago. Calm's got to peel off, so too does Torment, and they all just watch as JNap's shot finds Torment in the net.
Atomic had a lot of space there. And now version 1, can they make any difference in this series? This one might just drop in for him, goes right side, and Calm gonna put away the equalizer for version 1.
Yeah, listen closely. Bang! A demo, this time from Torment, opens the runway for Calm. And version 1, back to their old tricks. They get one back here to tie things up. Now they've got to capitalize on it and expand this here. JNaps, loose ball, Beast Mode's there, right down Broadway. V1's got its first lead.
And this is a little bit of a mistake from JNaps. He goes into the fake challenge, but the angle that he takes the challenge forces the ball to go towards the midfield. And you know the cheat from version 1 is playing hard. They've been playing very aggressive throughout this game, and unfortunately taking that challenge sets up Beast Mode. And now here comes Beast Mode with some space. A flip reset, a bump towards the net. It takes everyone from G2. They turn it away.
And coming alive here, that can slow down a team like G2, make them think just for an extra tick. As JNaps will take charge here, pound one away, Atomic downfield. Might be able to chase this down himself out of the corner. That's a good defensive effort by Calm. Indirect pass back to Chicago. The shot off the mark by design, and the V1 defense frozen.
This is really the JNaps special. One of the most interesting stats that I think I've seen ever in RLCS was JNaps' shooting percentage last season. It was so low, and you wonder why, but his assists were all the way at the top during the fall split because he took shots like that. He would register as a shot, but it was setting up Chicago to put away goals. JNap's a master at disguising the shot as a pass, and it's paid off here.
Guys who have been around as long as JNaps are usually not still at this level. He is, as he's often been throughout his career, built different. Chicago against Beast Mode. That's a great win, and it's going to set up Calm. Calm now up to the heavens. He's got Beast Mode and Torment in front, but JNap's there to swat it away. Now Chicago will let Atomic take this in stride. And G2 now finding it just a little difficult to stay on the version 1 half, where they had been so much over the first couple of games. This goes out, intercepted by JNaps, and a chance now maybe for G2 to set up camp on the blue half again.
Oh, what a challenge from Calm, and this one gets over the last man. JNaps streaking through to save the shot from Calm, but a little bit more output here from version 1. The offense looking a lot better. Beast Mode looking confident behind the ball. I've talked up Beast Mode so much coming up into the series, but feels like he's been kept at bay. G2's defense has been so strong.
Atomic making sure to get to that corner boost. Chicago there on the near post. He's got the save. Now Beast Mode. Options. Gonna set up Calm. Drop it down on the bouncer. It's in. V1 in front again.
Great design. And Calm had just picked up his back right boost. Pre-jumped this pass. Beast Mode bought a lot of time behind the ball. That's what you can do if you're Beast Mode. You get respect when you go up into the air like that. Nobody wants to dive in. And with that extra time, he delays the play enough for Calm to come through. A great goal to take the lead for version 1.
Good read and react there by Atomic, though, to get onto this ball quickly. Chicago misplayed that, and Beast Mode will clear away, and they had to avoid Torment on his way back through. Torment got the dunk, and it's just high off the crossbar. Version 1 trying to open up a 2-goal lead. Atomic says no. Calm is there, but JNAPS will boot it away, only as far as Torment. So now it's version 1 trying to put the clamps down on G2. Get one game back in this series. Start that long road back for a reverse sweep. Try to get us all the way to Champions Field. Beast Mode out of the corner. He's just going to take that corner boost, not try to do too much. Just a sign of maturity for a young superstar, and he's going to be rewarded with a goal as well. He taps it in off of Calm speed.
As the Beast awakens here for version 1. That's a great touch from Calm all the way across the net quickly. And that other one, I think, was going to go in either way, but a great touch from Beast Mode to put it through. Version 1 coming back here. And like you said, there's a long road ahead of them, but one that is doable for them, especially with games like these. You're putting up 4 goals against a very strong G2 defense right now, and you're holding them back.
JNAPS will try to make it interesting here. Final 20, and Atomic will finish the job, and G2's back in it.
Well, you might have thought or forgot about this guy. But Atomic and JNAPS combining and taking the shot away from JNAPS is Atomic, and he has been lights out in his shooting here. And G2 within 1 now.
8 goals and 5 assists between Atomic and JNAPS so far. Maybe more on the way, but Atomic's put one too strong. Chicago back netward, and Beast Mode is there as we get to the final 10 seconds. Torment just throw it downfield. Chicago's still waiting at the back, though, and he's kind of awkward there in the corner. No time left. Atomic's got to find a teammate. It's JNAPS, and that's spiked down by Calm. Version 1 have life here in the 3rd round.
You know, just out of spite, I want version 1 to make this reverse sweep because Leaf, he was shaking my cage before the series is even over, Leaf. It's not over yet.
The bear.
Well, I wanted to ask you the question. Do you think they can do it? Like, wholeheartedly.
Absolutely.
Do you think this is going to happen? That sounded very confident.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Look what they just did. This is the first game, not because version 1 won the game, but this was the first game I felt like, okay, here's version 1. This is what I expected them to be in this series. So if they can keep this up, if this is just the start for them, then yeah, they're coming back.
2 things to mention here. One is the last game there, game 3, I believe it was, with FaZe versus Furia. Furia is now at match point up 2-1. It was a 9-goal game. So if you guys like goals, head over to those team streams. And
expect nothing less between those two.
Yeah, right. And it looks like FaZe is right now winning that next game. So it might be going to game 5. So we might be tuning into that one later. Dignitas is clawing back. And also, right now, M80 is up over Optic. So if they win that will solidify our group. But we're waiting on that match for that Group D to solidify their positions with SSGs clinched into #1 spot.
So we're underway now at Utopia for Game 4. And version 1, keep this going and somehow find a way to give themselves a shot at top in the group. Calm on the weak side. Float one up there, and Atomic's got the clear. Beast Mode did not jump for it, realized Atomic had it. He's got Torment waiting behind him, but Torment's going to have to burn a lot of boost. Get onto this. Good catch in the air, but JNAPS will take it away. He's got Atomic below to the left. And again, a good clearance from B1. Torment waiting for a misplay. None coming out of G2 just yet. That demo, though, from Beast Mode can create a lot of trouble now. Chicago spawns on the ball side. There's not a lot of boost around for him. He's in a real tough spot, but he just got the right touch he needed. to at least delay enough his teammates back into the play, and G2 weathers the storm.
Yeah, G2 on the ropes there. And still are playing with this one on their own side. Not a lot of boosts. A couple times now I've seen G2 go up and pop that ball into the air with no boost. Torment also running out of boost. Now he ran into beast mode. It's an absolute mess here in the midfield. I thought the CRL stream ended on Thursday. But here comes G2 now, and Chicago cleans it up. G2 able to put away their first after a fiesta in the middle of the field.
JNAP finding ways to rack up assists. That's his 5th of the series to go with a couple of goals. 1-0 the advantage to G2. This ball is going to find Atomic. It always seems to. And Calm up there to meet him, but Atomic the better of the two this time. Chicago around Torment. Beast Mode's there at the back. G2 try to press their advantage in version 1. Trying to avoid letting this game get out of hand, as a couple others in this series have. Torment pounds one away, unfortunately it goes right to JNAPS, and Beast Mode able to navigate what was kind of treacherous airspace there. And version 1 still in a spot of trouble. JNAPS bumped by Calm, and that's good enough to let V1 off the hook.
Version 1 do not want to let G2 pile up the goals here. It seems like in that game 1, G2 really got away, and version 1 had no answer. They're spending a lot of time defensively right now. That one's getting away from Torment. Scary here. The shot goes in for Atomic. And another one put through. 2-0 now for G2.
It's just like watching a really dominant hockey team, right? They dump the ball in. Everybody that's not immediately on the ball just backs off. They go get boost. They come right back in. It's just constant. And the 2-0 advantage now for G2. Version 1's got to find a way back here. With time winding down in game 4. We're about to hit the halfway mark. Calm had Beast Mode ahead, but he's going to have to take this himself, and the defense from G2 is up to the task. Atomic going to chase this down in the corner. He'll get boost and ball, and had a lot of time and space to work with. Chicago lurking, but Torment's got the clear, and Chicago wisely not diving in.
You can see Chicago very happy just to take this one all the way across. Pressure's on version 1 now. And G2 doing a good job just preventing everything. Beast Mode, big whiff, wide open net for JNAPS, and he didn't have boost to capitalize, and Calm swipes it away from the goal line. Still, version 1 struggling to break out from their side with possession. What a touch from Chicago. And now JNAPS will feint a couple touches to get the defenders to dive in. Beast Mode with full boost, got to go the length of the field here. That demo comes out from Calm to remove JNAPS, and maybe version 1 could set something up as Torment takes to the sky, looking for the backboard, and JNAPS, it's over to Calm, needs another touch, and JNAPS to get it away.
Beast Mode staying with that as Atomic has to come up as well. Minute 20. Beast Mode can't get around JNAPS, and have a lot of support either. Calm needs one more touch, doesn't have it, neither does Torment, and Chicago, with not a lot to work with, can at least break out of the zone and cause a little bit of trouble on the V1 half of the field. Down to the final minute now, as Calm and Beast Mode are both up. And boy, a lot of indecisiveness should cost them a goal, but Beast Mode bails them out. A savior medal for Beast Mode in every sense of the word. But now version 1's got to find a way downfield. They got to get on the same page. Now maybe they finally are. Torment not put one anywhere near the mark.
Just over 40 seconds. G2, I mean, one more will certainly put this one out of reach for version 1, but time not on their side. This one needs to pitch right back to them. Chicago cuts it away. 30 seconds left now.
Calm got a piece of this. That will set up Torment to maybe hit Beast Mode. Needs another touch. He's got it. Torment's there. His shot.
Whoa.
Still going towards the net with Calm diving in, but the clear made. And G2 again, a high wire act to get out of trouble. And this one should be the last one they need. Final countdown now in game 4 and the final countdown of this series. G2 has been en fuego all day. And day 1 belongs to G2. They're going to top the group as version 1 has to settle for second best.
All right, Leaf, give it to me. I'll take it now.
Okay. So, well, we do we do wrap up our group D. It is complete there with M80 beating Optic Gaming. Optic is out.
Wow.
And NRG, you can still be happy about this. NRG gets second seed going into that first round there. So, Corelli, you can still be happy about that.
I'm not. I needed to.
Oh, you wanted
this?
to see that?
Yeah. If it was first or nothing, really, I don't care after that.
And we do have here on your screens another match happening. We have 2 left. That's the FaZe Fury match, and then here Dignitas versus Koi. I believe Gen G Complexity as well. But this one is a reverse sweep attempt here from Dignitas. The first 2 games went to Koi.
And
wow,
it's one-sided.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
that's shocking. That's shocking. You know, there's a lot of people I think that were looking at this Dignitas roster and maybe the woes that previous rosters had with Evo, and they might not have rated this Dignitas roster all the way. And for them, I mean, reverse sweeps aren't super convincing in my head, but to do it against this with the backs against the wall pressure on in your final round to make the playoffs, this is a good result for them.
You can also see the Fury of FaZe Clan matchup on the other side. A back and forth series, each team trading wins. So it's never been that reverse sweep thing that Corelli says isn't convincing. This is both teams just being even, being close, and apparently in one game having very bad defense with those 9 goals.
They're not right, though. Am I crazy? I mean, are reverse sweeps super convincing to you guys?
It does make it feel, at least to me, Stacks, that it's like, okay, this is a late start. Why are they not good at the beginning? But it also mentally, that's a hard thing to do, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good sign of your mentality, right? Where you're down but never out.
Yeah. You guys like Jorby, right?
Sometimes. Only on days that end in Y.
Sure. If I have to say yes, then yes.
Well, today is one of those very few days that end in Y. Let's go listen to him.
Looking for First Killer. First Killer half pre-jumped, but Card was already in the air. In the better spot, and he was just faster. Card coming across. Nothing developing here for Fury in the corner. He lost. Goes for it himself. First Killer gets the clear. Card cuts him off in midfield. Comes straight back down. First Killer falls with him. And I swear, if it's First Killer making the save in net, I don't know if you're beating him. They've beaten Sipical in front of net. They've beaten Mist in front of net. But they just do not beat First Killer in front of the net. Hard shot denied by Lost. Sipical drops it down. Good control. But Yan scoops it out from underneath his carriage. And now the Wagons back on the orange half. Card keeps it close against the corner. Saved his flip. Couldn't get the touch. Great back pass from Lost to Yan. They're doing their best phase impression from earlier. No one's back in net. That one's in. It's free. It's Yan. He's walking the plan. Welcome to the slam, baby. 3-0. 3-0 in the game. 10 seconds left. I want to see nothing but 3-0s in the chat. Let me see the 3-0s. Let me see the 3-0s.
Well, we're seeing the 3-0s.
Oh, we missed it. Brazil.
This is why we love Jorby. Let's head on down to this complexity match. They look like they're just taking away from Gen G.
Goldfish and didn't see what happened there. I'm not gonna lie. But no, guys, remember, we were 6-0 in the day earlier today. 16 seconds left here. It does look like Complexity is going to take this series. They're going to take this series here. Against Gen G Mobile One Racing, but we swept through both of our first series. This is not playing for elimination on anything. What this means is that we are going to be going into round 1.
There it is. Complexity doing what no other teams could do. They, as she said, they were 6-0 coming into this third round here. So they were coming in, they were winning their matches by like 1 goal, but they were coming in with their heads high and confidence. We've seen Gen G do that before. We know that they get their wins and that's it, but not here. Complexity is shutting down that miracle.
Yeah, I don't think Gen G was getting shut out by Complexity before Daz joined them. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Wow, this is true.
Well, this was already talked about with stuff being cool, is that look at this. NRG starts getting dubs after Daz leaves.
Well, they stopped getting dubs and they ran into a wall.
I mean, look what Daz did to NRG. Is he gonna do it to Genji as well?
Oh no! Oh no! Daz catching some flack here. Whoa! We have one more to go. Don't close the stream. Why are you closing the stream? We have playoff bracket to hit. That's gonna be after the break. It's gonna be exciting. Stick around.
You can save an average of 2 times more with our smart savings tools. For everything we want, we're all better off with an ally.
Tries to send one to the back of the net, and he will triple touch. You said the double might work out. How about a triple?
Oh my! This time, fire! Try to clear this away. Landing on the foot of Anthony. Picks up the steam. It's still there for Jimmy. He scored!
We're going into the next season, same roster. We all know we have high potential as individuals and as a team. I think it's a matter of just finding the right play style, finding the right way to play together. We've had really high highs. We've had, I wouldn't say the lowest lows, but we've had lows. We just know that we need to get on the same page. We know all be grinding. We need to all be playing how we want to play, and we know we absolutely have the potential to be one of, if not the best team in the world.
Can't quite get there. Double tap and Com has got his team back in.
Our vibes are honestly like really high. We're all learning, we're all growing as players, we're growing as a team, and I think that contributes to a good environment. When we know that we're all improving, we know that we're all working towards a common goal, I think it kind of brings you together. It makes you more confident in both yourselves and your teammates. So we're really confident. We're excited going into this first event.
No, for that's so good. Too good for version 1. Second man commits for
Going into some past events, our goal has just been, okay, let's get a solid result. But I think now, me personally, my mindset is no longer about getting a solid result. I want to win. I want to go out there. I want to win every single match I play. I want to win the event. So going into each and every regional, each and every major, that's the mindset that I'm going forward with. I just want to win.
And 4 pitches it in. Beast mode has arrived.
The past month or so, we've been really hard grinding in scrims. We've been working on fine-tuning our play style. Can't really go too much into specifics on that, but we have had a lot of things that we've been working on, and we're feeling really good. We're playing confidently, and we're hoping to go out and hopefully have fixed a lot of our mistakes that we had in the previous season.
And the back pass! He's still got it! Those are my points! He's claiming it back!
Wowie, look at that. You're still here. I really appreciate that about you guys. Thank you so much. And you too as well. That's pretty cool too. Welcome back to the Rocket League Championship Series. We're nearing the end of our day one of the North American Open. That's the first regional here in the winter split of the RLCS 22-23 season. I'm Leaf, Stacks, Corelli. It's been wondrous so far as we make our way into that playoff bracket. Let's get people caught up in case this is just when they're tuning in. Big mistake, just tuning in now, but it might have happened, okay? These are our results.
Forgive you.
As Stacks, we narrowed down our groups, and we did finally get our teams moving into that playoff bracket.
Yeah, we did. We saw, under the most unlikeliest of circumstances, Dignitas with the reverse sweep over Koi to stay alive, and Complexity got one over Gen G at the tail end there. So, some spicy results and maybe some surprises in that third round. But ultimately, the teams that are through to the playoffs, not really surprising, with, I think, one noticeable absence down at the very bottom, M80 taking down Optic Gaming, and that means OG is MIA.
Well, Corelli, this is where we stand now. I mean, like, it was still, again, good for NRG. It made things simple. They get that second seed there. I know you wanted the 3 on the day, but still, for an NRG that still is trying to prove to people that they're bouncing back, I think this is a good place to be, a good start, at least, into this split.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people counted them out. I think there are some people even picked this team to not even get out of the group. So for Group D, that was a very interesting group. I think Group B is also kind of interesting. I heard a lot of talk about Rebellion coming into this, and they're sitting at 0-3. I think that surprises a lot of people, but maybe equally as surprising is Furia 3-0ing on the day as well, taking down FaZe Clan. I think the majority of people would have had FaZe going through on top.
I mean, my surprise does come from Gen G, I guess. I mean, this is a team that we just watched move to North America to absolutely dominate across the regionals and into the major. And Complexity comes out here and says, no, that ends today. We're going to shut you down. So big eyes on Complexity, if I'm a Rocket League fan, to see if they could continue on this trend. I wouldn't count Gen G out, obviously, but definitely a fun result if you're a Complexity fan. But let's talk about where this puts them, because we did have to eliminate those bottom 4 teams. And we move into our playoff bracket, where a couple teams get the bye. They get to play tomorrow. In the quarterfinals there, Stacks, Fury, G2 Esports, Space Station, and Complexity get to relax it up while the other teams duke it out.
Yeah, and this is so great, too, for Complexity, just being able to top the group and get that little advantage of going directly through to the quarterfinals, because there's been so much talk about them and just how good can they be? You know, how good does CRR make them? Can they get back to that form that they were in when they first moved into the North American region as a team? And hey, you can't start much better than this, but they do still have business to take care of with these quarterfinal, or with these prelim matchups, though. Boy, there is some spice there, especially that one down at the bottom.
A reminder to everyone, we sit in best of 5 still in the first bit, and then we move into our best of 7s once we hit into that day 2. And right now, it's single elimination. This is going to be it. You lose and you're out from here on out. There's no second chance. There's no other teams you get to play. It's just play the team that's paired up with you, and then you move on if you win it. And if not, you'll have to try again in the next regional here. Lots of fun matchups, but we do hone into one. A reminder to go watch the team streams. Those are still live. People are still following along with their favorite teams. Hop into those chats and support them. But if you're sticking around here, we are diving into one really fun one. I saw someone in chat just say, all the way for the Knights. Well, look at that. You get to watch them face off against NRG, the Knights, a team that I think a lot of people have hopes for. This roster has been starting to poke and prod. They've been getting some consistent wins against some of the top teams, but they're going to have to continue to do that to really solidify themselves as a team that you watch all the time rather than glancing over at their games here and there. But facing off against NRG, an NRG that looks like they're starting to sort things out. It might be a difficult battle, but honestly, I feel like this could end up, in my opinion, Corelli, being a close matchup.
They've done it before. This Knight squad has beaten some good teams already. They're a team that can pop. They're a sleeper team. They're a team that you can't sleep on. But they're also a team that just, at some points, they play down to competition and they'll play up to competition. And this is one of those matchups I think they're going to play up to the competition. They know who they're facing, and they got some great skill on this squad. When you look at this roster, Cheese, Sosa, and Zanil, I think Sosa, Zanil get a lot of the airtime. Cheese is a guy who I think goes under the radar a lot of times. People don't talk about him enough. He is incredibly skilled individually, and is one of the reasons why this team is starting to pop up here and there. They're not going to always do it, but they could play up to this NRG squad.
Get the hashtags in the chat. I see a lot of PK. This could be a close one. Hashtag NRG or hashtag PK. Who's going to take this one and move on in the bracket? The winner of this will go face off against G2 Esports tomorrow. But that's tomorrow's problem. Right now, they got to take out their opponent in this best of 5 here. Let's go for predictions on this one. Because I do feel like this is a trickier one, at least in my opinion. So I'm going to stew on it for a second and go across the board. We did have Corelli really on NRG. Did you lose faith after them not going 3-0, or do you stay with the trend?
Listen, I'm not a bandwagoner like other talent here, all right? And I'm off the bandwagon. I'm going to the Knights. I'm going to PK on this.
Wow.
That's right. I'm flipping, I'm flopping, and I've gone to the other side. No, but I actually do think that Knights, I am seriously picking Knights here. I'm not just doing it for the memes. They've done it before. They've beaten the NRG squad before. They've beaten some other top talent in North America. And I think getting out of groups is always the hardest for teams that we don't always see get to this point. And Knights are a team, like I said before. Guys like Cheese, guys like Sosa, we've seen pop off multiple times in RLCS X as well. I think Knights could do this.
I'm going to go next because I don't want to make it look like I am bandwagoning. I was going to go last because I thought I'd be the only one picking Knights. I am also going Knights on this one. While I am loving what I'm seeing from NRG, I really love these stories of teams on the rise, and I think they're a really strong roster, Stacks.
Listen, I love a good fairy tale as much as the next guy.
Oh, no.
But they're just that. They're just stories. I love Zanil. I think he's a phenomenal talent. But it is NRG. I think they've returned to form. I've got NRG here. Goliath squashes David.
Is it? I don't know if it's really.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like that.
Okay, well, this was not as close as I thought it would be. In the fan vote, yeah. They're on the side with Stacks right now. They think NRG. Well, we're going to find out here. Only one team moves on. Stacks, Corelli. Have fun.
Oh, we will. We will have a lot of fun, and we hope you guys have as much fun as we're having here, bringing this one to you. Our last match of the day, the round of 16, as we send either NRG or the Pittsburgh Knights through to the next round, and we send the other packing, hoping for better results in the next regional. Of course, those invitational slots, oh so valuable. We kick off our winter split in North America. Here's Squishy up the ladder. Got through, but this goes all the way to the corner. And NRG off and running, trying to apply pressure early to PK.
Yeah, you really got to look out. This PK squad, they are hungry for wins, hungry to prove themselves. If you follow them on Twitter, you've heard of the grind, you heard about the grind, you've seen the grind from these boys, and this is the type of series. It's their chance to prove themselves. They get out of this group, a chance to prove yourself against a former world champion team, against the darlings of North America. And for Knights, one of their bigger matches here, especially in the first regional of the split, to start off with a possible top 8 berth would be fantastic for them.
Squishy lurking here as Cheese tries to navigate around him. Here's Garrett G. Got to get around Sosa and Zanil. Cheese cycling around as well. Nothing available there, so NRG being very patient. But Squishy might have given one away to Cheese. He has. Sosa around Garrett G. Here comes Zanil. High shot. Justin's got the read. Garrett G to finish off the defensive effort. And NRG sends PK back to the drawing board.
Ooh,
oh, Zanil. Oh, what great feed. Rebound for Sosa. And the Knights strike first.
And this is great work here. Long arcing ball across, the speed from Cheese, and then to use the ceiling to drop it inside the box, keep it dangerous, force Squishy to go. That's great work from Knights. Using the field and finding men downfield, and a fantastic pass from Cheese opens things up for Zanil to take that challenge and to tap in for Sosa.
Well, Justin will exchange with Garrett. Squishy coming in to try and send one around the boards. Garrett G. That's going to be a little high off a deflection. Squishy, little hesitation. And Cheese looking for Sosa. Sosa bumps Justin out of the way and can continue in stride, but it's Garrett G. Away with possession, high on the side. Garrett has talked about having to play a little more aggressive, having to play a little bit faster, and adjusting to what he perceives as the new meta here in North America. Garrett G quickly out towards Squishy. Cheese is in the way, and Justin will at least try and delay long enough, and Squishy just pounds it downfield. Justin giving chase. That's a great stop by Sosa.
And a poor touch there by Cheese offensively, just to give it back to NRG in the middle of their box. You really don't want to give free touches to NRG. They're lucky. PK's lucky NRG, weren't able to take advantage of it. Here's Squishy now just lobbing it towards the PK side. Now Cheese trying to bring it down, takes the sky now, and Justin, great defense there. Still threatening there from Zanil, but the clear comes out, and back and forth we go.
Zanil definitely the X factor here for the Knights in his previous series with Rebellion. 10 out of 11 goals he had a hand in. He scored 6 and helped on 4. He's got the assist on Sosa's goal early here in game 1. This goes indirect for Garrett G. Sosa's in the way, deflects off of him. Garrett can continue to chase. Maybe try to steal that corner boost, but it didn't spawn for him. And I don't think it spawned for Zanil either, as Garrett will pop one downfield again. You can tell NRG just trying to dump and chase, and Knights are not letting them get to the chase part.
Cheese soaking up all the boost in front of Garrett there. Keeping it awkward for NRG in their boost control. Now Sosa, can he get up to this one quickly before Garrett gets there, and he drops it down. Cheese is going to need some help on this touch, looking for a pinch, and denied by Squishy. Garrett's there. Scary situation for Knights on the transition. Justin trying to push it through. Still PK staying alive.
Oh, Zanil almost caught Garrett out. And now the pop downfield. Justin will give chase. Squishy's there. Oh, it's a decoy for Garrett G, who scores.
Look at this one. Cheese, he thought he was going to block this one, and Justin, fake from Squishy. And Garrett, it comes right out to him. He can wind up and let that one rip. We're tied up.
Boy, we've seen this same play quite a bit. Not just today, but even last night in CRL. Cheese now, beaten out by Justin. Now Squishy, off the ceiling indirect. Sosa's there. Brand new ball game now with less than a minute to go here in game 1. Again, still best of 5s early on here in our playoff bracket. The rest, of course, resumes tomorrow, where it really gets spicy. Zanil got a piece of this. Sosa tried to jump in the way. Cheese has actually kept this central. Got to clean up his own mess, and he does.
Oh, a great touch there from Sosa. It's a shame Cheese doesn't have boost to get up after this one, and NRG still in the attack. Here comes Squishy off the backboard looking for help. Garrett was pushed back, but Sosa and Cheese both go. Now Squishy with the demo. A double tap from Garrett just goes wide of the post there, and Knights get away with one here defensively. Another double demo coming out. And still Knights on offense.
I think Zanil kind of got a little lucky there. He was just watching that shot from Garrett G, hoping that he was off the mark. They don't get another look. No, it's going to touch the ground. Oh, NRG had one last shot at it in regulation, but now we go to overtime in game 1. Why wouldn't we? Here's Zanil with Justin right on him. And Cheese quickly from the back wall. A little too fast for Squishy. Zanil now trying to get around Garrett G. Good luck.
9 saves from the Knights on the 11 shots from NRG. And now Cheese, bit of space here. And Justin there to kind of backflip it out of the way. Sosa trying to keep the play alive for PK. 30 seconds into overtime. Cheese lobs ones towards net. It's an easy pickup here for Garrett.
Oh, he's got the flip reset, but not a whole lot to do with it. Got around Zanil. Justin had Cheese frozen, and Squishy shot denied by Zanil as well. The shots continue to pile up now. 14 in total for NRG and 11 saves across the way. Cheese has this one with Justin jumping up. Garrett G falling in behind him. They gave up the corner boost to let Knights avoid getting starved out as Cheese downfield. Garrett's got to get on his horse, that he does. And he'll just feed that over towards Squishy, who didn't actually take charge. He had full boost. Garrett took it himself.
Oh.
And Squishy just got a piece of that from Sosa.
Just pushed it wide. Squishy on the save. Knights, though, they have been creeping up. Zanil, flip reset, not going to fool the defense. XD Knights, they're wanting to keep it down. They're looking to control. Cheese over to Sosa. Sosa denied by Garrett. Challenge game certainly going in favor of NRG. Here comes Squishy to deny Zanil, but Zanil's still on the air dribble. Still getting a touch. Can he get one more? Cheese is waiting for this one to come across. Cheese will go, and a save from Squishy.
Oh, Cheese got the bump on Squishy there. Just in the initial save. Garrett with a save, and he takes Zanil off the field. He'll respawn and jump in the way as well. Justin having to make sure Zanil didn't have a powerful clear. And now Sosa, all alone in the air, met by Garrett G. And another great challenge by Squishy. We've seen some lengthy overtimes today. Optic and Space Station, for instance. This one getting to be on the longer end. We're into the 3rd minute. Sosa's popped one over Squishy. And he had to avoid some contact. He's still left behind in the zone. Garrett G pop one downfield. It's only Cheese there. Had to make sure to grab the corner boost and get possession. That's well done defensively by the Knights yet again, as they have been on point and they've needed to be to keep this a 1-1 game.
There's a demo from Justin, and Garrett will put it away. 2 minutes and 44 seconds, and NRG come out in game 1.
One man missing thanks to the big boom in front of the net, and Garrett G pushes NRG across the finish line. Captain America does it again.
Wow. Well, Stacks, you look like a genius so far.
Of course.
So, is it
that a course?
Is it genius? Is it genius though when it was like that close into overtime? Genius to be like it was clear that they're gonna win, right?
I mean, I thought it was going to win the whole time.
I was just trying to
shots were trying out loud. Come on,
here,
something was going to give eventually. The levee had to break.
It was a good match though. This is what I like to see. I like to see them close. You like to see them, and the other ones are relatively close too. I mean, FaZe Clan only took their game 1 against M80 1-0, and now it's tied in game 2 1-1. We have Dignitas winning their first one against version 1 1-0. So it's been close, except for the Genji Accru match. Right now, Accru is up 3-0. Unless they've scored again. I had to refresh. Yeah, Accru.
Wait,
wow.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was going the other way. I thought Genji was crushing them.
This didn't happen when Daz was over in NRG.
That's what I'm thinking.
Just saying. Look at NRG. 1-0 in the series, and what's happening to Genji? Yikers.
Yikers. That's one way
On
to
the
put it.
Forbidden Temple for game 2. Listen, I know we're supposed to be neutral and unbiased in all of this, but I am secretly cheering for the Knights. I want to see Zanil have all the success, along with Sosa as well. I think that this roster, it has a lot of potential to go places here in North America, but they are up against a monster right now. A monster that's trying to find its previous form, and they were oh so close to qualifying for the Rotterdam Major. As Justin pops this one away, everybody kind of forgets that NRG had a legitimate shot at making it into the top 5 going into the Invitational, and they just fell short. Everybody kind of talks about them like they're washed up past their prime and have no business being considered among the top dogs in North America. A couple bounces one way or the other, and they very well could be. Sosa leaves that for Zanil, and Justin just got there in time.
That one needed a bit more juice behind it. It was surely a goal with a bit more power. The defense was a bit late there. Zanil now trying to keep this one going for Knights. Justin and NRG wrapping up the offense once more. Big save from Cheese. Follow-up from Garrett's there. Squishy, can he get around the last man? Chiefs dives in and denies the shot.
Sosa there to meet Justin again in the air. It's going to be Garrett G. He's got Justin downfield, trying to get a piece of Sosa. Sosa is waiting after having avoided contact, and that pinball's off of Zanil. Up ahead for Sosa diving in. Justin's there first, and then Garrett takes out Zanil, who spawns right in behind Cheese. And that was a near miss. Cheese almost collided with him off the respawn. Garrett G leave it for Justin, and Cheese has the clear.
We're seeing Knights get backed up here. NRG doing a good job of forcing the Knights to use all their boost in a lot of these defensive plays. Now that one's awkward for Zanil. Didn't expect the second touch. Another touch towards net. Squishy denied by Cheese once again. It's 4 saves already from Knights, and you're not even halfway through game 2.
Sosa trying to power that away. Battling with Squishy. Knights having to put in a lot of work just to try and reach the midfield line. Squishy's delayed them again. Finally, Sosa gets one to midfield, but Squishy's brought it right back in. And Zanil with Cheese supporting. They finally reach midfield. What else can they do with it? Not a whole lot. It's Justin now. Garrett G will take charge. Garrett G indirect for Squishy. Not going to get there. And NRG has to go back to work at midfield.
You got to remember, this NRG squad, despite not being at the top anymore, still put up 2 top 12s in the last split and a top 4. They're certainly capable of closing you out in these series. I think for Knights, though, sitting at 0-0 is exactly where you want to be. You certainly don't want to be playing from behind. But you can see NRG slowly ramping it up, and this one off the crossbar in the post. Justin win as well. Cheese, though, maybe a counter here for PK, but Squishy denies, and you can see Knights struggling to hold on to the ball on the transition. It's all NRG at that half-way mark.
Oh, Justin with the demo. Zanil's got to pick up the slack here. Sosa able to grab that corner boost off the respawn. And then that demo by Squishy certainly relieves the pressure. You mentioned NRG being able to close you out in opportunities like this. I think there's also a little extra motivation. This is the first off-season or trade window where there was real consideration that this group might have broken up. There's a shot. What? Down and saved away by Garrett G. Follow-up saved by Justin as well. Oh, my goodness. And then they're going to give one back up on the other side. A 2-goal swing breaks the deadlock for NRG.
My gosh. And after all of that, PK was so close to scoring. And NRG on the transition finally breaks them.
Far down, and Garrett G just happened to be there. 57 seconds remain, and the Knights have to overcome this. Now Squishy dumps one back into the zone. He was there waiting. Not a lot of spacing there for NRG, but Justin comes away with it. Everybody else disperses. And Sosa's giving this one away to Garrett G. He's going to want that touch back, as Zanil might have a chance to give it to him, but Squishy's there instead. Sosa took a long time to get back into the play, and he's not going to get there either, as Justin in the way of midfield. Garrett kept this one floating netward. That registers as yet another shot, yet another PK save, and what a save by Cheese. Can he make the second? No, Squishy's got it, and a 2-goal lead for NRG.
Tried his best to make another save, Cheese did. He got the first one here on the backflip, and look how close he gets to this one, just a hair behind it. But you could see here, the scoreline isn't really representative of what NRG has done here in this second game. There have been 12 shots from NRG here in game 2. They put up 2 goals, maybe a third here looming, as Justin will lob it towards net, now make it 13 saves. But NRG, they are all over the Knights here in game 2.
They had 15 shots with the benefit of a couple extra minutes of overtime in game 1, and then Justin adds one more for the road. They were down, they were starting to get up off the mat, and then Justin with a curb stomp to put it away. Shot number 15 of this game in regulation.
That was kind of a crazy placement there from Justin, but NRG up 2-0 here in this series. Leaf, tell me you got some better news on the other side.
Well, if you want potentially an unfamiliar bracket tomorrow, then yeah, I got great news. Matches are a little intense right now. M80 and FaZe tied 1-1 with M80 up 1-0 in that game 3. And then we also have Genji Accru 2-1 or 2-1 right now in game 2 for Genji, with the crew up 1-0 in the series. So close match. And then also Dignitas on match point against version 1 right now, and they're up 1-0 in that game 3.
Wow. That Dignitas squad. I think people have had a lot of questions about that Dig squad and just what exactly their new acquisition means for them. Well, here you are.
Yeah,
at least the top 8, apparently.
Here's the thing. I'm sure, as North America usually does, it will right itself. And by the end of the day, we'll have that familiar bracket, right? But right now, the possibility is still open for having a few unfamiliar teams in that bracket, which honestly is exciting. It makes me scared as I get older. I don't like change, but Corelli, it's fun as a fan to watch.
Oh, absolutely. And I like to see teams that, maybe people didn't really count on to even be at this point, pushing teams like version 1 to match point and possibly a sweep here in this bracket. I mean, this is devastating to the top standings of North America and kind of rocking the boat here.
Think about how close a lot of these teams in North America came to being very different coming into this split, and how very different they will almost certainly be going into the spring. We got business to take care of here on iconic DFH Stadium between NRG and the Pittsburgh Knights. And Zanil lets Justin jump in front. Justin to the sky. It's still available for Squishy.
Oh my goodness.
Down, and this time it's Cheese who makes the goal line save.
I'm not even sure. I don't know if that was a save. It just kind of landed on his head and bonked off the goal line. That's a good touch there from Cheese to pinch it away. Boy, feels like the Knights are constantly underwater here against NRG. I don't really think they've spent any time on the NRG side in the last game.
Very little. Very, very little. They had a few shots. They had one that absolutely should have gone in, and instead they gave up the goal on the other side. It was all downhill from there. Sosa there, met by Squishy. Garrett G will power one away on target, so Zanil has to deal with it. Now Squishy, bouncer for Justin, double tap on the way. Bang, bang.
There he comes alive. And that's what NRG needs. Guys like Justin putting away shots like this. If it comes clean off the backboard and Justin's behind it, you know he's going to knock it down. NRG right through again.
It really is that simple. Justin on form feels like a cheat code. It's just been, it's been sporadic. But right now, he is feeling it. He's got 3 goals and an assist in this series. And how much does this mean for NRG? Getting off on the right foot here in the winter split. Justin against Sosa. And Sosa met by Garrett G. There's Cheese, stopped by Squishy. And NRG moving just with an extra pip in their step as Zanil couldn't keep possession around Justin. 2 minutes have gone by, and it feels like the longest 2 minutes of the Knights tournament so far.
And I got to hand it to Garrett. Watching this series, the series before, actually 3 of their series here today, he has looked stellar behind the ball. You can tell he's playing at a faster pace. He seems so much more confident behind the ball as well. So many flip resets coming out from him. And looking for a double tap here. But it's something that NRG's needed. They've needed Captain America to come alive. And he certainly has for NRG here in this regional so far.
Oh, dangerous in front of the net. Squishy's in the air as well, but Cheese should have this. Doesn't have much to work with, though. Trying all he can to get downfield in a hurry. But it's NRG that hold all the keys. Garrett G's shot denied by Sosa. And Cheese will have to slow play this out of the corner. It was an awkward catch on the wall. Zanil now right down the middle for Sosa to clear away. Everybody can get boosted up now for the Knights. But it's Zanil. Maybe all alone, got to deal with this downfield. Squishy gets the demolition, and then Sosa has to avoid Squishy coming in from the back. Now Sosa denied, Zanil up, and Squishy blocked him.
Minute 45, and while the scoreline is close, NRG in control. The Knights need to find some offense here. It was something they struggled with the game before, and this game as well. Not finding dangerous plays, and of course there was a couple of great saves coming out. Now that's this time NRG is not going to make a great save. Sosa able to find the equalizer here. It's exactly what they needed.
He had the goal in game 1 as well. They're going to need somebody else to step up if they're going to prolong this series. 1-1 in game 3. And by the way, just the shot count as we've kind of kept an eye on for NRG so far in this series. 15 in game 1, aided by that overtime, 15 in game 2, all in regulation, and they're closing in on 15 now. They're already up to 10 with 1:13 to go. We're all tied up, and we know NRG is going to get a few more good looks at the net. That does not register as a shot. Sosa got it way up in the air. Zaniel trailing in behind him. Cheese will take over. Hard out of the corner. Zaniel's there, but so too is Squishy, as he's been so often. And people have maybe wondered if he should take more of an active role in the offense, but his defense has kept NRG in this position where they're at now. The demolition there on Justin leaves Squishy all alone at the back. Justin's going to respawn in, and he'll take over.
Good patience from Justin. Squishy and NRG, they have to go, though. And that's not the best touch coming off. Cheese there to kind of disrupt what Garrett G was trying to set up. Off the back wall, and Justin was hunting. Cheese with a good clear. Maybe the Knights. No, they're not going to get the offense going there, and instantly cleared. Now the dunk from Garrett. Here comes Justin. Can he get a second touch? He'll drop it down. Justin puts NRG into the lead.
Nobody jumped, and Corelli, you know the rules. Hand down, man down. 2-1 with only 14 seconds remaining. And NRG trying to break the Knights' hearts again. Justin to clear it downfield. Garrett G around the boards. Justin waiting there, and Zaniel has to do this all by himself. He'll get a little help from Cheese. No time on the clock. Justin drops it down. NRG move on to day 2.
And they looked good. Very clean here from NRG. This is the series that you want out of NRG when they play teams like Knights. You don't give them any chance. You absolutely smother them, and you don't allow the fire to grow at all. Knights out here. NRG moving on.
42 shots in the series, Leaf. Just a relentless barrage over a span of about 20 minutes.
Hey, it's again, this is what you want to see with the talk of the team staying together and just making sure they find what they said. They have a good foundation. I think this is what you want to see. You want to see a hungry and thirsty everything. They need to consume NRG to going into the rest of the brackets of the rest of the season. So this is exactly what you want to see. And you know who else is moving on to tomorrow? You guys. You guys are casting tomorrow. Also, Dignitas.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really? There we go.
Version 1 out?
Version 1 out. 3-0.
Wow. That is crazy. Because this, I mean, think about the implications here. Again, I want to just go back to NRG for a second because they were good enough for 6th in the league with a 2 top 12 placement and a top 4. And now with version 1 dropping out in round 1 of playoffs, there's a huge opportunity for teams below them to catch up. That's a big miss from version 1 to go down to Dignitas. And this is, I mean, obviously it's the first regional, but it is wide open here in the North American race for the major.
Oh, yeah. You also saw...
Last second goal. Are you kidding me?
On your screen right now, yeah, Crew Gen G are going at it right now, tied up 1-1 and 1-1 in the series. They're going in overtime. You also saw for a split second on your screen there, the fact that Mado, M80 there, is currently sitting at match point against FaZe Clan and up 2-0. That's the previous XSET roster, and they are out for something.
Wow.
I can't tell if you guys are trolling with the M80 name or not. I'm not going to lie. I heard something calling him Matey.
Yeah, it's Mado.
Matey. Dear Lord. There, here's what you need to know about all the action today. I guarantee you there is nobody with a perfect bracket going on any of the prediction contests anywhere. There's absolutely no shot anybody pick this unless they ask their grandmother or their dog to just randomly pick some teams.
Hey, my grandma knows Rocket League.
Probably better than I do, to be honest.
She doesn't. I'm kidding. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, especially the Dignitas one. I mean, I'm looking at M80 in the lead here against FaZe. I mean, Leap was saying, oh, it might correct itself. Well, it hasn't. It has not corrected itself. It's just getting worse.
I mean, hey, this is what that first event of every split is all about, right? It's all about getting off on the right foot, and you see where the off-season preparation has landed people. You know, some people, you know, they've got their hours up. Others might not necessarily have them, and you might see kind of the product of that work ethic or lack thereof rearing its ugly head.
Also, I just want to point out the quarterfinals. I believe it'll be the first one tomorrow is a classic G2 versus NRG. That's exciting, especially for NRG, who's showing a little bit of life here in this Winter Open. We get to see them go up against G2 tomorrow, who have just been, I mean, god killers here so far. But that's a classic matchup here in North America. We get to see another time.
Yeah, that's what I love about the North American RLCS. You know, we always get these new and exciting, fresh matchups that we don't normally get to see. What is this, the 500th meeting of NRG and G2?
I suppose you're right. Well, you get Dignitas and Space Station in a quarterfinal as well tomorrow. So
that'll be fun.
That will be a little bit more fun or exciting or different. I don't know. I think the G2 Energy matchup's fun.
I think it's going to be exciting.
I don't know.
It's just, you know, it's just another meeting between these two. I mean, when you think about North American Rocket League, I think before this season with Gen G coming in, I mean, those are two of the names that come to mind at first, right?
I would assume so. I would hope so.
Yeah, I mean, they've been pillars of this space for so long.
I would hope so with the branding. By the way, Gen G just missed basically an open net there, and now a crew might make them pay. But Gen G, maybe they get it here. Is this one rolling in? It is. Apparently, Jack is going to put Gen G in the lead for the series.
Someone might want to check on FaZe Clan because they're not doing so hot right now. You know what? Let's actually check in. Let's see how things are going down there on the field.
Come on, boys. Minute 40. Nice. Double that. Have fun with them. Have fun with them, Iron! Go! Come on! Minute 29. They're demoing everybody. You can feel it in the air. Tension is rising. Butt cheeks are clenched. Your heart's starting to pound. Alpha Kev starts asking for subs. If you have a Prime available, this is the time to ask for them. Let's go. You can feel it in the air right now. They're looking great. They're looking great. Like, right? You can just feel it, right? I just want to go grab it. Right? I'm gonna start crying. I've been a part of this org for one day, and they're already making me cry. Oh! We are top 8! Come on!
Can you feel it?
Your second favorite streamer going off. Love that.
Everybody better tap in right now. The Cat crew is wild. Somebody get my man some tea for that voice.
Yeah, he's done. He's done for the next few days. That ain't coming back. That was. You'll love to see the wonder though. I love it. They're peaking real early here. Let's see if they can keep it up because that is a fantastic result. Taking down FaZe Clan. There's nothing else to say about that besides that's a fantastic result.
And again, opens up the door for a lot of teams here in North America in the major race. I mean, FaZe Clan's a team that's like top 4 guaranteed in everything that they do. And they're going out round 1 of the playoffs. this is massive for teams like M80, for teams like Dignitas, for teams like Accru, for teams like Knights, teams that are getting out at the bottom of their group. It is wide open for them, for these teams that have been at the top consistently, struggling here in this playoff bracket.
Well,
and that's 2 teams from the major that are out very early in the Winter Open.
I mean, you might have that happening again to Gen G because Accru is putting up a fight. Obviously, they'll have another one after this, but right now in Game 4, they're looking good. Why don't we head down there and see if they're just as excited?
Zone, but my oh my, the pressure that we are seeing from this game is so unprecedented and so different from the series so far. Just again, going to show these teams constantly evolving. Another open net, but not the right angle. At the very least, possession for Oath to tap it back into the sideboard and burn away at that clock.
There is some kind of bubble magic in the air right now. All the lower seeds finding wins, escaping to the second stage of the Winter Regional. This has been an incredible start to the Winter Split so far, and if a crew can just add on to that magical state of the bubble scene at the moment, then I'll be that much more elated. But half a game of Rocket League left to play here in Game 4. 2-goal lead is not safe, as Gen G has not slowed down whatsoever in offense. They've been scoring, but they've still looked very, very threatening. But these outlet passes are so clean. Accru is escaping unscathed, getting opportunities like that. My word, Fifi, so close.
And Accru was doing that with goals the whole time, but they hadn't been doing that with passes as often. But more and more often, they've just, like you said, been finding these nooks, these crannies, these tiny, tiny openings, these microscopic places where they can just get this ball and safely recover, as Gen G is forced to again play slowly, something that they have despised doing this entire series. And I think I would also like to touch on the fact that so often, even during this close qualifier, even during this event, we see people saying over and over, man, Accru is doing really good today. Accru is doing really good on the day. But after Next Level, after Lost Tribe, after even doing this well against Gen G, I really think that for the entirety of the bubble, that sentiment can start to wear down. No, these teams are not just good on the day. We have exited that threshold to a point where these teams were good last week, they're good today, and they're good next week. But so is Gen G. Abjack once again threading that needle, as he damn well does, into the upper 90. 81 seconds to go, Accru desperate to hold on, but it just got twice as difficult.
Unfortunately, Gen G is still very, very good, despite some lapses today. I was hoping maybe they would take a break for games 4 and 5 and just kind of give a crew the biggest opening of the top 8 we've seen in quite some time, but no, Gen G still very much in this series, can still very much close it out in 4. Crew cannot settle down, they cannot settle in, keep the foot on the gas. 60 seconds, another hard ball towards net, but Gen G has solidified defensively. They're making some difficult saves, some difficult reads, not allowing anything extra from a crew in offense.
Possession maintenance is something that Accru's really been shining in so far today in general, in fact. The praises we sing are often countered by that attrition that so many teams get to play with when they play against Accru. Scrims or in regulation. But Accru has been so good at denying that so often and making sure that possession is pretty consistently equalized. And yet, the nets have been a little more open, the defenses have been a little too slow, and Gen G has gotten the drop on Accru twice now. V1 got the drop 3 times, so did G2. It is still so in the cards for Gen G to take this home. Everything says they should. But Oath with another booming clear, and Fifi ready with the pickup. An immaculate conversion to force Chronic way into the back line to prevent this from becoming a 3-1 game, and an impossible, insurmountable goal for Gen G to finish this in 4. But it's still looking tight. Oath against a triple commit will make it work, and the hesitation burns away at the rest of the clock. Jack has got to keep this alive to finish this in 4. Had the boost to do it. Good flip up. T. Corral missing, and Noli gets the credit. We continue into overtime once more, and Gen G does not want one more blemish on this record.
Gen G will not go quietly. We knew that, but we had a 2-goal cushion. Now it's gone. We still get to OT. We're still pretty good in OT. We've lost twice in the extra time today, but we've also won once, and that is a close shave. Okay, T-Corral, like nothing happened, going to carry it away from our back line, but Gen G, resurgence here, late in regulation and into OT now, 15 seconds in. They've already given me a heart attack. Hopefully there's not a second one anytime soon.
And T-Corral, the only one boost. Accru needs to recover, and they need to do it now. The corner boosts have already been dried out. Gen G was prepared to take this now. The defense could hold itself down, but Gen G has too much to work with for this to be over now. We might be in it for the long haul here again, folks, in OT. As, unfortunately, Gen G taking that kickoff led to a complete lack of aggression so far from Accru, and the 1-2 finishes the job. It's Abject with the credit, but that is a Gen G goal if I have ever seen it. And as good as Accru is, they still ain't major champions.
Well, it was a good, valiant effort. I thought we would have had a very unfamiliar bracket going in tomorrow, but there is a Gen G there at least. What a close Stacks. That shot that hit the bottom corner there. That kind of hurts. That's going to haunt them.
There were how many there were at least 2 last-second goals in that series. And I don't know if Gen G had both of them. There was one right as we started watching them. That's got to be absolutely painful for a crew. I think you'd rather Gen G just beat you 5-2 3 games in a row than lose the way that they just lost that game.
I just want to point out, too, just looking at the bracket that we have now, one of Complexity, M80, Space Station, or Dignitas is going to be in a grand final in this regional. And that's not that crazy for maybe teams like Space Station, who we've already seen, but for Complexity, for M80, and for Dignitas, especially those last 2, that's wild to see a road where they could very, very quickly get to a grand final here right off the rip.
We almost lost all 3 of our top 3 in points in North America in this Winter Open here for North America. Yeah, that I got NA is EU now. Anything can happen, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure it's again.
Well, they're all coming over here, so yeah.
That is very true. Let's take a look back at what happened today. Obviously, we started with our groups. In my opinion, things here were relatively on point. This was like, okay, here's a North America that I feel like a lot of people could have it for the most part predicted, aside from maybe 1 or 2, Corelli.
Sure, I agree. Yeah, I mean, Group B maybe was a little strange that the top of Group A, Complexity and Gen G, maybe a lot of people had flipped. But I think the writing was on the wall when we saw Group D. M80 beating Optic, NRG doing as well as they did. I think Space Station struggling just a little bit. I want to give them credit, though. They did well to kind of regain. G2 look like world killers right now. I mean, there's a lot of Rebellion suffering here, 0-3 in their group. So there were a few things here where it's like, okay, something might happen, but I did not expect FaZe out first round of playoffs. I didn't expect M80 to go through everyone. M80 has played Optic, NRG, Space Station, and FaZe, and they're still alive.
Yeah,
how many teams can say that they've done that?
That's not a fake win. That's not a Mickey run, right? Like that.
Yeah, that is
real runs.
Yeah.
This is let's take a look at the bracket though. Let's glance at that journey because M80's run carried on as we just saw through FaZe Clan. We do have our matches for the quarterfinals. A couple teams did have their buys in through there. So G2, Furia, Space Station, and Complexity. We're just waiting there. They haven't played in this bracket yet. They'll get the chance tomorrow. But yeah, these were exciting matches early on. A big one there, in my opinion, Stacks, is Dignitas taking down version 1.
Look at how goofy this bracket looks. On one half, you've got Furia, Gen G, G2, NRG, and on the other side, you got Space Station, Complexity, M80, and Dig. Really?
It definitely feels a bit lopsided. I mean, here's the thing.
That is a bottom-loaded bracket if I ever saw one. My gosh.
If there's any bracket that Dignitas and M80 wanted to enter into, nothing against Complexity or Space Station, but this might be the bracket you go in with a little bit of hope of a chance of a grand finals, Crowley.
Yeah, right. If you told them to pick their poison, they picked it.
And a lot of people are looking at Complexity as well. I don't think it was super surprising to see them top their group, and they had some issues in the last split, and a lot more people are on the bandwagon of Complexity now. They believe in this team, and like you're saying, they're sitting in a pretty comfy quarterfinal. You're really hoping for maybe a big upset from Dignitas over Space Station. You're hoping to take care of business over M80, who you can't count them out at this point.
Or if you want to see what happens with that M80 squad, there's a lot of hype behind them right now. You have to wait because it'll be our last match of that quarterfinals. We'll start the day off with NRG2. What a banger of a first match.
Wow.
And then right into Furia Gen G. It's just honestly throughout the whole day, Stacks, there's something to look forward to.
Yeah, exactly. You come right in, right out of the starting blocks. You got NRG, G2. You stay around for Furia Gen G, which is going to be great. Dignitas is going to open a lot of eyes here. I think there's going to be a lot of interest in how they perform against SSG. And then can M80 continue this magical run to start the winter split? And can they put themselves in a strong position to make a run at the Winter Major in San Diego?
And it's funny looking at these first two matchups as well. The team that I feel like didn't really play up to the expectations was actually Gen G. I'm feeling quite good about G2. I'm feeling quite good about Furia topping their group. And honestly, NRG's played quite well. So for Gen G, somehow, just looking at current form, they might be the weakest out of those four.
That's fair enough. But we have to find out what happens tomorrow. That's going to be at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Join us for the pre-show before that at 9:30. But final thoughts now, because this is a boring part because it's just okay. Well, yeah, NA is NA, but this is a little bit different, Corelli.
Yeah, no, this has been an exciting day. It almost didn't end up this way. Remember, Dignitas had to come back on like a reverse sweep and stuff like that. I think that's exciting though. And for North America, you're finally starting to see there's a massive pool of talent under the top teams, and those boys are finally cracking through, and it's really fun to watch.
Everything you thought you knew about North America after the major, throw it out the window, baby. This is chaos, and I love it.
Speaking of majors, though, we got another one coming up. We got a few eventually coming up, but one's much closer than the other one will be. That's the Winter Major. Get your tickets! ! Tickets in the chat. And head on over to rl.gg/Winter Major Tickets Live to grab your tickets, to hang out with all the fans of Rocket League. I mean, if it continues on like this, you're going to be in for a surprise of who's there, because things have been blown wide open. So if you like to treat yourself to surprises, this is the best time to do it, like right now. Right. I'm by the way, I'm pushing these tickets, guys. So you have more time for your drops. I'm being the nice guy. So reward me back by getting a ticket.
Buying your tickets. Yeah, that's right.
Just gotta get them. Now, have you got them? Good. I'm very happy. Very proud of you. That's proud. We're going to see you guys tomorrow.
Great work.
As day 2 continues on here. Make sure, again, show up 10 a.m. Pacific time, 9:30 for that pre-show. You do not want to miss it. Things in North America are exciting. We'll see you then.
Before school's gotta get worse, and sometimes it's gonna hurt. If you're ever gonna get that bad, then you better plan your attack. You're braver than you know it. You're stronger than you show it. You're braver than you know
offense, though, as Kinsey sends one to the backboard, tries to send one to the back of the net, and he will triple touch. You said the double might work out. How about a triple?
Oh my! This time.